Then young Master Zhang and Lolo took another pose lying on the table. She lay on her stomach and used her legs to hold the stick for him. Not only that, she also stuck out her tongue to lick the stick and said. It was so stimulating for young Master Zhang. Hit the hole 2 times in a row. The people around the billiard room were shouting. Young Master Zhang really opened our eyes. Young Master Zhang cleared the table in just 1 beat. If there was no mistake in the middle, if you miss, you will always be able to hit the ball. That kid will have to repay young Master Zhang's debt for the rest of his life. Young Master Zhang turned his head to look at Lin Xin, sarcastically said. I advise you to quickly call your parents and ask them to take money. Come here. Lin Xin replied indifferently. You go ahead, I'm not short of money. Hearing you say that, he immediately said. This is what you said. Unless you can hit the black ball. But the black ball is in the dead corner. It will take at least 3 chances for the world champion to hit it. Now that you admit defeat, your debt is still small. The black ball in the middle is surrounded by other balls. Around. The brown-haired man said in panic. And he's still playing like that. Young Master Zhang is sure. Then he passed by Lin Xin. He immediately said, thank you for your reminder. You're ready to go in, but don't forget to tell him. Today, I will let you open your eyes. The white ball line moves extremely skillfully, going all over the billiard table like creating a whirlwind. All the remaining balls are left on the table. They all fell into holes. Even the last black ball on the table was a spinning ball that fell into the hole in just 1 shot of Lin Xin. Lin Xin's friends shouted. 1. Lin Xin, you won. Wu Ji said the loudest. Damn, is that a god? Young Master Zhang, Lolo and the background dancers in the billiard room all widened their eyes as if they wanted to pop out. Lolo expressed that surprise. With just 1 stick the ball went into all the slots. There's a hole in the table. After all, who is a god? He had to cry out in pain. It's impossible. It's definitely not possible. You cheated. Lin Xin leaned against the billiard table and looked at them, said calmly. Young Master Zhang, minus the 3,003,000 I lost to you at the beginning. You owe me a total of 10,970,000. Put the odd number behind, I will forgive you. And the remaining 10 million you will decide when. Let's pay. When he heard you say that, he broke into a sweat and shouted. What 10 million? This time it doesn't count. You happily replied. Oh, young Master Zhang wants to pay off the debt. He didn't pay attention but started to brag. In the entire billiard industry in Yanjiang, my big brother Mr. Li is the most vocal person. You dare offend me? Don't expect peace in Yanjiang in the future. People around started to advise you. Young man, leave. Young Master Zhang's background is very strong. You can't offend him. That's right. The billiard rooms in Yanjiang all belong to Mr. Li. I heard that Mr. Li is also good, known as Yanjiang's most mysterious billionaire. Legendary characters. Not something a college student like you can touch. I advise you to take it back. He was proud. Why are you scared? If you know what to do, go away quickly. Lin, please ignore what they say to challenge young Master Zhang. If you have the courage, call your big brother Mr. Li here. I will stay wait for him. Young Master Zhang immediately called. You are looking for death. He thought. Wait for my big brother to come. I will tell you. The person on the other end answered. What's the matter, boss? Hey, there was a group of people causing trouble in the billiard room. And they said they wanted you to come here. A moment later, there was a group of people with sticks coming. Mr. Li said loudly, what brat dares to cause trouble in my billiard room? Mr. Young Master Zhang pointed at him. Big brother, that's him. Lin Xin turned his head and looked at him, startling Mr. Li. Young Master Zhang didn't pay attention and continued to say, that's him. You're playing dumb. Made me lose more than 10 million. You have to take control of me. Mr. Li immediately moved his hands and feet with young Master Zhang. Take control of your mother. Just throw him away. He kicked him to the ground, then walked towards Lin Xin. Mr. Qian, why are you here? If I had known, I would have sent a car to pick you up. Lin Xin immediately said, Mr. Li, that person said you were a shareholder of the billiard room. And you protected him. Really? He immediately explained. Mr. Qian, he is just a gambling dog who owes me money. He always wants me to let him manage this billiard room. He is not considered a shareholder. Right, he deserves it. He put his arm around Lin Xin's shoulder and continued. Mr. Qian, you're not happy today. This billiard room, I gave it to you. Just consider it all as I came for you. Lin Sin said. This billiard room. I'm not unusual. Just now you were oppressed and said a few words for us. This billiard room was given to you. Lin Sin said and looked at Seo Hua. She was extremely happy. Mr. Lee on the side could only agree. Yes. This made young Master Zhang and Lolo feel miserable. When listening to Mr. Lee say, not only the billiard room, but also Yan Jiang, you will not see them again. Then he shouted loudly, and these people, acting like snobs, standing here will only dirty my floor and Mr. Kian's eyes. Now, go away, give me this immediately. They all looked down and left. Sorry, it's all because young Master Zhang wanted us to cause trouble. We'll get out right away. Lin Sin looked at young Master Zhang and Lolo knelt down and said, do you have anything else to say? Pay the money, he said. Big brother, it's me who has blind eyes. Big brother, don't accept petty people. Please forgive me. I really don't have money. Or like this. How about you pay this girl back to me? Even though she's just a shameless king who rode all over a bunch of people. But it's okay. Lolo immediately slapped her. Mom, hey, you're a liar, but you want to marry this lady to pay off your debt. Before you pretended to be rich. Sleep with her for free. Stop it. Still borrow 10 million from her. You bastard. Pay it back quickly, give me money. She sat on him and beat and shouted. He didn't lose even under him. Get out, whore. Your money is gone. There's no money left. If you blame yourself for being greedy, wanted to blanket the rich man. Then she turned to grab Lin Sin's shirt. Mr. Kian, I knew it was wrong. It wasn't my intention. In fact, from the moment I saw you I knew you were not a normal person. I can follow you. You can do whatever you want to me. She cried and begged. Lin Sin immediately kicked her to the back. Get out. Wu Ji saw that and said. Photoshop makes her look like a fairy. Unexpectedly it was rotten from the inside. Zheng Hao said. Someone who uses others to entertain themselves. A heinous crime. Mr. Lee's people immediately came forward. Mr. Lee said, pulling him out. Even if how come, I have to get 10 million from them to pay Mr. Kian. Then turned around and smiled at him. Mr. Kian, let me take care of this. Lin Sin immediately left. So we go first. Lolo in the back looking at his leaving figure. He kept whining. Mr. Kian, I know it was wrong. Please forgive me. On the road while stopping at a red light. Behind him there was a supercar stopping to act as a delivery person. Startled, the fat man followed a short-haired woman and said, what are you doing here? Get out of here. Then the fat man beeped the horn continuously. The delivery man also turned around and argued. To him, can you clearly see what lane this is? This is a non-motorized lane. The fat man shouted angrily. Right, you didn't even move aside. The delivery person also argued in worry. Can't you understand human language? This is a non-motor lane. You're breaking the law, it's a traffic rule. Let the delivery man say he rushed past causing the driver to fall. Not only that, he also threw out a wad of money. Said 1,000 yuan for medicine. More later if you ever see me again. Be obedient and step aside. Another man went to the delivery man and said, it's great to have money. Another man helped the delivery man up. No have any sense. The fat man and the woman drove away. The woman looked at the fat man's scratched car and said, what a pity. The delivery man's car was hit and it was damaged. The fat man immediately laughed and said, that's nothing. He's comfortable here. You poor people want to lecture me. Damn it. Ridiculous. I bought car insurance for more than 100,000. Directly and it must be okay. That girl immediately leaned on that fat guy. Brother, are you too strong? The fat man immediately said, it's nothing. Let me show you what it means to be strong. Then he said I sped up. She immediately exclaimed, ah, so fast I'm scared. He saw her like that and laughed loudly. Suddenly, a delivery person passed by. He saw that and immediately rolled his eyes. What a mess. Cage. Seeing that the other girl said, oh my god, that person is so fast. He angrily said, damn, there is a poor delivery guy pretending to be in front of you. Daring to overtake your car. Looking for death. After saying that, he immediately accelerated to 120 kilometers per hour to chase. He exclaimed, fuck, where are you? The other girl immediately said, how is that possible? Wasn't the delivery person just riding the tram? Why are you going faster than my car? Hey, you haven't stepped on the gas pedal. Right, you should quickly chase him. He shouted angrily, scaring the other girl. Shut up, bitch. You'll be so noisy. Then he looked at the electronic board on the car. There was a red light in front of him. That poor guy can't run. Still like that he parked the car right behind the delivery person. It turns out that delivery person is Lin Sin. He shouted loudly, "Hey, that rotten delivery guy in front." Lin Sin immediately turned his head to look. He cursed madly, "That poor guy. Get away from your mother. Quickly." Driving a scabby warhorse and daring to block the road of a supercar that can accelerate to 100 km per hour within 8 minutes. It's my second. Don't blame me if you crash into it. On the side of the road next to there was another car with a man drinking inside. The green light turned on. You immediately drove away. He saw that also followed but unfortunately was hit by a car with a man drinking alcohol. He flew out of the car screaming, "Why did someone run the red light?" Lin Sin happily smiled looking at the explosion behind him. A speeding driver coming in is not mobile. A person runs a red light. They belong to the same species. In your next life remember to obey traffic rules well. That fat man only knows how to lie on the ground. His head was bleeding. His teeth were broken and he was crying. Lin Sin suddenly stopped at a high-rise building. He looked up and said, "So it's here." Then he thought, because it's relatively close to the Dragon Court Villa. Number 1, where Luo Yaxi lives. Luo Yaxi and I have also eaten here before. This restaurant seems to be a membership-based dining place in the Dial first-class villa area. Lin, please call Wu Ji and say, "Hello, Wu Ji. I've already arrived at the Coe building. About to go in and get my stuff." Wu Ji suddenly said, "What? It's only been 10 minutes. How did you do that?" "You, damn it, used that plane." Lin Sin calmly replied, "No. Use your electric car. My broken electric car has a speed limit." "How is that possible?" "In fact, the speed limit can be solved manually. Plus a little more skill. Practice driving." He thought, that's why he can write at a speed of over 130. Wu Ji continued in surprise. "That's strong, Lin Sin. This time I'm lucky to have you. Who knew I could deliver halfway there? The tour guide took me away. Tomorrow, no. Breakfast for 3 days is all mine." Lin Sin happily said, "Looks like you know what to do. Then you go inside. The scenery is amazing." There was a group of women taking pictures together when he happened to be in their frame. The pink-haired girl said, "Hey, that delivery guy, can you please stop appearing in front of my camera?" So, he pointed at himself and said, "What should I do?" The three of them crossed their arms angrily. The blonde girl said, "What do you say? This is a high-end restaurant with a per capita consumption of 2,000 yuan. If you just stand there, how can we still take pictures? Our dining experience will be affected by you." The short-haired girl added, "Yes, we still have the face to ask again." He looked at their food table and said in wonder, "Experiencing it for a while, I think it affects the structure of girls' friends who often live in fantasy in their circle of friends." "Right." The pink-haired girl banged on the table and stood up. "You, what are you talking about?" "Huh, who is the virtual girl?" Lin Sin said calmly, "I have heard before that there are people who live in virtual reality. Gathering in a group. Today I finally met it." That pink-haired girl screamed, "Come up. Everyone is gathering in groups. It's funny, the mood is really low. No wonder you're just a delivery guy." Manager, quickly pull this delivery guy out. The waiter is coming at this time. "Sir, dear customer, may I ask what's going on?" The pink-haired girl pointed in your direction and said, "It's because of this delivery guy. He smells of poverty. I'm rotten to death by him. How can I eat?" "Okay," the short-haired girl continued. "That's right. Moreover, he spoke rudely to us. Your Coe building is a Michelin 3-star restaurant. Can even dogs, cats and cats enter? Quickly chase him out." Hearing that, the waiter immediately snapped his fingers and stood close to Lin Sin saying, "Where are you?" At this moment, those three girls saw such actions and smiled sinisterly, as if they had achieved their goal, destination, but the waiter said something else. "Invite these girls out." The bodyguards stood around the girls. They raised their hands to invite him out. The girls didn't understand what was going on. Everyone's faces were filled with questions. Manager clasped his hands, standing respectfully in front of Lin Sin. "Very sorry, Mr. Lin, for making you experience such unpleasant things." The orange-haired girl was stopped by the bodyguard and asked in confusion, "Manager, I want you to quickly kick that delivery guy out." "What are you doing, Mr. Lin? This is the noble owner of Dragon Court No. 1 Villa area. We are also CO's Golden Dragon members. Ye House. You guys ordered a pot of tea and a piece of cake and sat here for several hours. Our CO Ye House is a high-end restaurant to enjoy delicious food. Not a hot face gathering place. Go away. The manager seriously raised his hand to introduce Lin Sin. At the same time his angry attitude towards the girls. What? The villa costs hundreds of millions. He is also a Golden Dragon member of CO Ye House. Why? Maybe. Then why is he still delivering? Is this the special hobby of people with money? The girls were surprised and startled. The blonde girl clasped her hands. Her eyes sparkled. Her cheeks blushed. Actually you were looking at me just now. Right, I knew you wanted to talk to me so you purposely stood there to attract my attention. It was all a misunderstanding. Actually, we can get to know each other. The purple-haired girl blew kisses. Winked. Posed seductively towards Lin Sin. Said random things clearly he was looking at me. And the pink-haired girl immediately took out a piece of paper with a number on it. I gave him my phone. With her lipstick mark on it. First time meeting such a handsome delivery person. He really has an extraordinary aura. This is my phone number. She winked. Call me. The girls surrounded and clung to Lin Sin. The manager's face turned black. Indignant. Stop being so slow. Go away quickly. Lin Sin tried to avoid. Showing an unpleasant attitude. Stay away from me. The girls were immediately thrown out by the bodyguards. My super fake bag. My Parada shoes. Let's go. What's wrong? The manager clasped his hands in front of Lin Sin. Sorry, Mr. Lin. I guarantee that this situation won't happen again in the future. It's okay. I'm coming to pick up the food. Number 86. Are you ready? That's it. At that moment in the kitchen, Yu Yan stood with her hands on her hips looking at the chefs. He was clasping his hands in front. Slightly leaning towards her, Yu Yan said forcefully, your monthly salary should not be less than 200.000. CO family is treating you poorly. Give me this chance. Other times, foods from all over the world are for you to choose from. As a result, what do you make for the second miss? It's really disappointing. It's not like you guys feel that the second miss is imparting nutrients. So there's still time to slowly research. The lady said, today is the last day. If you can't make a dish that the second miss can eat, you can imagine what the consequences will be. That's it. You and the manager hid behind the door and sweated. You wanted to scold me at some point. Why can't you just cook? You might have to wait a while. I'm in a hurry. Sighed. That's the kitchen. Right. An idea popped into my head. That's right. He walked into the kitchen. Rolled up his sleeves. There were 15 minutes left. This order was crab and egg noodles. Luckily this was a quick dish. He quickly beat the eggs. Chopped the shrimp. Stirred the noodles. Both hands were nimble, skillful, no one can compare. Done. Crab egg noodles are completed. Eye-catching yellow color. The fragrance blends beautifully. Now have to go quickly and deliver the goods. It's dangerous. It's dangerous. It's almost the money was deducted. He quickly carried the food out the door. The manager looked like he only knew 3 points. But that was okay. Yu Yan raised his voice. Manager, what are you standing here? Who just touched the kitchen? You let outsiders into our kitchen. Manager was shocked. He nervously replied, is a guest with the status of a Golden Dragon member. Just now he came in wearing delivery clothes, took the form. Saw that she was teaching. Well, there was no one in the kitchen. So I went in to cook food myself. Just left. What are you talking about? I don't understand. Yu Yan looked at the manager with glasses on her face. The fragrance from the pan that Lin Sin had just finished making wafted up into Yu Yan's sense of smell. Smelling something fragrant. This crab egg. She used her chopsticks to pick up some of the scattered crab bricks and put them in mouth. So delicious. Even better than real crab bricks. How could this be made? Who was the cook just now? Quickly tell me. She put her hand on the manager's shoulder, the other hand pushing up his glasses. Oh, okay. At the Dragon Court No. 1 villa. In the middle of the room with lingering echoes of love between the couple. The messy room with clothes and adult toys. Luo Yaxi woke up sleep, rubbed his eyes and looked at Lin Sin who was getting dressed. Lin Sin, do you have to go back to school? This morning there was a 4th level foreign language test. Lin Sin put on a shirt and looked at her. She sat up. I see me out the door. There's no need. Just go to sleep. You've been tired all night. You're so good. Love you. She blew a kiss. happy in her heart. Being with Lin Sin every night made me so happy. Lin Sin walked out of the villa, hands behind her head, enjoying herself as she walked. Please, occasionally coming to the villa for one night is not bad. Finally found you. Oh, she is. Yu Yan appeared like a god. She stood in front of him, showed her introduction card. Hello, Fairy Lin student. I've been looking for you for a long time. I'm the homeowner's secretary, Coe family, housekeeper of Coe House. 3-star Michelin critic Yu Yan. Would like to invite you to help us make a dish for the young lady. Just say the price. Look at the slightly familiar girl in front of him. He thought to himself, now I remember, what a wealthy person, tormenting so many people every day just to make a dish for the noble lady in the house. Enough to see that that young lady is a difficult mistress to serve. Please, sorry, I have to take the exam. Please invite another chef. Sir, putting his hands in his pockets, turning around and walking away. Yu Yan quickly raised his hand to ask him to stop. Please wait, Mr. Lin. As long as our young lady eats the food you make, Coe family will reward you 1,000.000. Cold, not short of money. Yu Yan panicked even more. Wait. Sorry, very sorry Mr. Lin, my attitude was not good just now. I know you are very busy, but human life is very important. I hope you'll give me a chance to explain. He tilted his head and said go. Mr. Lin must have heard about Coe family. Coe family operates Coe House, which is a restaurant with 50 years of history, always with only one store. But 10 years ago, Coe House suddenly expanded, opened more branches, and it received a 3-star recommendation from the World Food Organization Michelin 2 years ago. Coe family has also become the most high-end gourmet family. In addition to its capacity, Coe family's business important cause, especially the eldest lady of the Coe family, possesses a food god tongue. A normal person has from 5.000 to 10.000 taste buds on the tongue. A food god's tongue has more than 20.000 taste buds, and can easily taste defects of each dish. The taste buds, the senses of taste, distributed on the surface of the tongue used to distinguish flavors, relying on the young lady's tongue to constantly improve the dishes. Coe House can only broadcast developing and growing as strong as they are now. Master Coe and his 2 daughters have always had a pleasant life. Normally, at home, Master Coe cooks for himself. But 10 days ago old Master Coe was unlucky, died of illness. Since that day, the second miss could not eat anything. The eldest lady was very worried, forcing Chef Coe House to step up research and development of delicious dishes that could satisfy the palate of the second miss. Although the dishes that the eldest lady makes color very outstanding, but can't cook well herself, can only tell the chef to keep trying. She's also because of the second miss. Lin Sin suddenly heard the story. The second miss is about to become one. I haven't eaten anything for a week now, completely relying on nutritional support to survive. If this continues, I'm afraid the second miss is a very good person, Mr. Lin. I beg you to help. Save her. Your eyes are pitiful. Sorry, so it's like that. He laughed and scratched his head. But I can guarantee that she won't eat the food I make. I'm just helping out of humanitarianism, doing my best. Do you think that's okay? Yu Yan shed tears of joy. Really, very grateful, thank you Mr. Lin. I have tasted the dish you made. I think I can definitely make it. But you have to wait until I finish the exam before leaving. Besides, the dish I make, whether she eats it or not, is fine. You have to pay me the indispensable 100.000. He walked away and waved his hand temporarily by Yu Yan. You think, just consider this as earning some pocket money. Okay, Lin Sin agreed. Yu Yan happily replied. At the Coe family hall, Yu Yan respectfully, I'm so sorry, chefs, please leave this side. A chef complained, looking at the chefs leaving one by one. Yu Yan worried in my heart. How disgusting. This is the last turn. Even the 3-star famous chefs invited by Shanghai have failed. The last hope can only be thanks to Lin Sin. Hearing the sound of entering interrupting his thoughts, Yu Yan speculated whether it was Lin Sin coming. Feeling happy. As expected, the main character always appears last. Second young master Shi, and also the first young master. 2 people also come here. Looking at their arrogant appearance, Yu Yan's face darkened, a bit uncomfortable. These are 2 young masters of Shi Food Import and Export Company. They have had a cooperative relationship for many years. Coe House is here. This second young Master Shi is often close to Master Co, wanting to marry the second Miss. But the second Miss doesn't like him. So Master Co has married him. Rejected them. Mr. Shi put his hands on his back. Raised his voice in front of Yu Yan. What kind of relationship do our two families have? The second Miss had such a big thing happen without telling us, I know. It's really heartless. Yu Yan bowed. The two gentlemen are thoughtful. After all, this is Co family's private matter. So I don't dare to bother you two. Stop talking politely. I heard that you guys used 100.000 to find a famous chef. Right, why is it so complicated? These two people are both top French and Japanese chefs invited by my brother. The first young master I reached for the two chefs behind me. Just directly told them to cook the food. Okay, go inside quickly. Yua must be starving. They passed by and ignored Yu Yan and went straight. Come inside. Sorry, you two gentlemen. I still have to wait for one more person. She pushed her glasses and said seriously. Mr. Shi turned his head in annoyance and said, who else do I have to wait for? Oh, really, it's so noisy. Lin Sin walked in. I just saw you guys outside the door seeing off the chefs. Why have they failed? You walked in with one hand in your pocket. Mr. Lin, you're finally here. Hurry up. Please come this way. Yu Yan happily welcomed. The two Shi brothers were surprised at her attitude. The two of them looked at each other with eyes wide open. At the cooking place, Mr. Lin, behind here is the food warehouse, where all the food is fresh and delicious. In addition to ingredients from China, there are also famous ingredients from more than 10 countries. Any other family, no matter what you want to make, we can satisfy you. Yu Yan respectfully and enthusiastically guides you. What kind of background does that kid have? Why doesn't he look like his head? He doesn't even have a kitchen. And he's still poor and impoverished. Why does Yu Yan respect him that much? Mr. Shi doesn't like it. He crosses his arms and says. Young Master Shi just glanced. Just a poor guy. What are you so proud of? I've told you. Why don't you understand? You have to do whatever you want regardless. Understand? Mr. Shi raised his voice with one hand on his chest. Brother, I don't understand nothing. Yua is a simple golden lady. You have to capture her heart to be interesting. I will marry Yua. You will marry her sister. Isn't that perfect? After that, all of the Co family's assets will be ours. You keep spinning around like a pinwheel. It's really useless. Young Master Shi, calm down. I've already planned this a long time ago. Already. There's an echo coming. The eldest and young misses have arrived. Above are the two young ladies' Co family. The eldest miss of the Co family. Co Xiang Ying, sitting cross-legged, noble but sharp. Miss looking at the situation below. He sighed in boredom. It was so boring. Next to him was the young miss of the Co family, Co Xiang Yu, sitting in a wheelchair with a nutritional bag next to him. His face a bit lifeless but still can't obscure her gentle, beautiful and heart-touching appearance. Yua, you don't have to worry. I brought you here with these two world-class chefs. You will soon have a real meal that's good. Mr. Shi stood below and shouted. Why are you guys here? Besides, we're not close. Don't call me that intimate. The eldest lady looked down. Why did you say that? Close or not close? The first time is acquaintance. The second time is close. Young Master Shi laughed, even licking his tongue in a wicked way. The eldest lady was upset. Angry. Stop talking too much. There is no limit on any dishes or ingredients. Whoever can make dishes that my sister can eat deliciously will receive a reward of 1000.000. Let's start, she shouted. The two foreign chefs started to compete. Cooking your favorite dish. Observing from above, the young lady silently assessed. As expected, they all chose the best ingredients. The French chef was sure he was making caviar fresh. And the Japanese chef is making king long stew. As for the person specially invited by Yu Yan, it seems to be Mr. Lin. The ingredients he brought are chicken, eggs and rice. Looked at the bowl of eggs and rice in his hand, and Mr. Shi held his stomach and laughed breathlessly. He smiled with tears in his eyes and pointed at him. What is this person doing? Is he here to be in the background? Maybe he is the chef of a certain school canteen, should also be. Young Master Shi stood with his arms crossed and laughed to join in the fun. You intend to use these ingredients to cook for the second miss of Co family. This is an insult to her. Do you understand? He did not refute, just gently smiled at them. Not only that, he also sat cross-legged, scrolling through his phone and humming. Yu Yan looked a little serious and worried. Done. The 2 dishes from 2 foreign chefs are so eye-catching and attractive. Yua, let me bring him to you. Wait. Yu Yan single-handedly stopped me. The first one to taste is me. What? The next person to taste is the Grand Master. Only after being approved by the 2 of us can the second miss be given to eat. Why is it like that? The second miss is currently very weak. We have to making sure her food is the most delicious and safest. The 2 chefs proudly watched Yu Yan taste her dish. Ordinary, so ordinary. They all reacted in panic. Couldn't believe their ears. The ingredients were top class and the chef was classy. Yet they were only able to create this 1+1 effect for the dish. It really made people disappointed. Kind of. Yu Yan used a tissue to wipe his mouth, pointed at their food and said decisively, "What? You motherfucker really understand this?" Mr. Shi was angry while holding the food in his hand. Cursed. Next dish. Come here. Come here. Egg fried rice. Lin Sin brought up his dish. Get out of here. Who the hell let you come here? Just now I didn't pay attention to you because at that time I was in a good mood. Now do you believe it's me? Even if you have a bowl of fried rice with eggs, you dare to bring it over here? This idiot. Second young master Shi placed his hand on his shoulder to stop him, threaten him, and ignore his reaction. Yu Yan still took a spoonful of rice. Just finished eating. She was happy. Oh my god. The rice grains were rich. The smell of eggs was overwhelming. The feeling was so complete. Just an average bowl of egg fried rice, it's normal to reach this level. She feels delicious and excited. Her whole body is numb. Seeing Yu Yan's reaction, second young master Shi scolded unwillingly. Cheating with us. She doesn't rate the famous classy dishes as worth a penny. The trashy fried rice is praised so much that someone will give her that courage. That's right. A housekeeper like her still considers herself a golden lady. Dare to be picky with me. The eldest lady looked down coldly. Yu Yan is the only judge I can confirm. Her professional level doesn't need to be said much, on the contrary. Mister, I also don't know how good or bad food is. Miss, are you cheating? Don't you know immediately after just eating a bite? Or do you not dare? Yu Yan gave the fried rice first the 2 people's faces. What a plan to provoke them. It won't work. I casually ate a piece and judged it wasn't worth a penny. Wow, why is it so delicious? The 2 young masters tasted it. Found it delicious. My whole body feels numb. Did you put something in there? You 2 feel so delicious that you can't stand. Foreign food only focuses on high-quality food, high-quality ingredients, to when introducing each item. It's very tasty, but we have to look at basic cooking skills, and ignore the fact that cooking is cooking for the masses, not high-end dishes that some ordinary people can't afford. Throwing out the difference, Lin Sin stood with his arms crossed looking at the 2. Said it well, but ordinary people are only worthy of eating low-class dishes, because they simply don't know how to appreciate the wonder of high-class ingredients. Grant, although your egg fried rice surpasses Yu Yan's taste, I absolutely will not allow this low-class food to enter my sister's mouth. The eldest lady said sternly. I also don't plan to let your sister eat fried rice with eggs, because what she has now is not this. What do you mean? You walked up the stairs. In your hand was a dish for the second miss. Your demeanor like a professional employee. Wait, who let you up here? Don't misunderstand. I received money to make the second Miss CO family open her mouth to eat food, not to cook to please her. What? Ms. Yu Yan, the eldest lady. I believe in Mr. Lin's strength. He can probably cook a dish that the second miss can eat. Please let him try. Yu Yan holds my hand to sincerely in front of his chest. Lin Sin stood in front of the 2 young ladies. Don't blink. Come here. Here. He slowly opened the lid. Bright light emitted from the plate. This is something more delicious than rice roasting the eggs. The brothers looked nervously. What would it be? Why was he so confident? Could it be the Italian red silica mullet snack? Or the gooseberry from Madeira, or the squid? France. The young lady is also eagerly looking forward to it. Come on, eat it. Eggs. Chinese eggs. Chinese eggs. Northern Chinese eggs appear. Everyone opens their mouths, looking embarrassed. Try eating. Look. He bent down and gave it to the second miss. Stop. You're so bold. I spent hundreds of millions researching the menu but still can't make her want to eat. You dare to bring the herbal eggs. My sister will come later. This will also awaken the dirty tongue. Eating this trash food will hurt her taste buds. The eldest lady quickly stood up to stop. Ding. The system appeared to detect high beautiful women. Starting the upstream mission. Full name Xiao Xiang Ying. Age 23. Height 165. Weight 49 kilograms. When the target's favorability towards the host has just passed 90%. Refund 10% of the upstream amount. The paid line becomes the host's personal property. When the subject's favorability towards the host reaches 100%, it will change its identity and at the same time change the submissive relationship between the host and the target. The current favorability is minus 20%. You feel helpless. This system specifically finds this type of girl for you. Right, mister, but there was nothing visible in the cooked food. There must have been something wrong with the egg fried rice just now. And then it was colored there. Young Master Shi also agreed. That's right, and just now it was just accidentally. Let our chef try again. Don't forget these two chefs are also Michelin 3-star class like your Coe House. He sighed. 3 stars, 4 stars, 5 stars, whatever, I've eaten your Coe House several times. Actually, one taste is normal. Too much emphasis on the origin of the ingredients takes a lot of effort to present. Plate. On the contrary, forgetting the essence of cooking is to make people eat happily and be full. The eldest lady put her hands on her hips to refute. It's ridiculous that the common people still want to judge us Coe House. Wild pigs don't eat. The buffalo was good. He calmly smiled and explained. Why is Coe House always losing money? Before I came, I looked up Coe House's financial statements for 2 consecutive years. Profits have decreased, more than 25%. That's why you guys recently had to open a food delivery service. Right, it seems like your good buffalo is not being eaten by more and more people. You dare question the food my dad and I eat? I was studying together. She reached out towards him. He quickly grabbed her wrist, brought his face closer, sharp eyes. Why question? I was denying her dish. Hearing the movement behind them, both of them looked back. The first lady was surprised. The second miss was eating delicious Chinese eggs. She used her hands to put each piece into her mouth, chewing happily. You, what are you doing? The 2 young masters of the Su family gasped. How could this be possible? And Yu Yan was so happy that she cried. Although he couldn't feel his pulse, looking at Yu Yan's expression, he still had, and her sister could also guess the symptoms of the second miss's illness: poor spleen and stomach movement. Insufficient yin, liver qi stagnation due to the death of a relative leading to mild depression. Anorexia. Botanical eggs contain many amino acids, many minerals and alkaline vitamins, which can also neutralize stomach acid very well. Lin Sin slowly explained. The second miss looked at the empty plate in her hand. Praise, praise. Delicious, delicious. He brought her more soup and melon. You can eat it. Let's eat some crushed cucumbers and green bean soup. Yu Yan brought those 2 dishes and knelt down in front of the second miss. Extremely happy, the second miss has finally won. Okay, my mission has been completed with the appearance fee and reward. Remember to pass it to me. You turn around. Yes, I will pass it on. I'll give it to you. I'm just lucky. This dish has no qualifications at all. If it's not related to your life, then absolutely don't let you eat these common foods. Miss boldly say, if the money I've taken isn't worth playing with you for a bit, I'll cook a popular dish according to your words. You can choose poorly or say it's not delicious after eating it. It's all my fault. If I lose, I will pay you this 100.00.00 reward. But if I win, how about you give me 10,000 more? He calmly replied. Don't, you have a godly tongue. Your taste buds are twice that of normal people. It's impossible to cook a dish that will satisfy her. The second miss picked up her chopsticks and warned you in advance. Why are you courting an outsider? The young lady looked at her angrily. Okay, the conditions are so completely favorable to me. Why wouldn't I bet? I can't help but say you're very brave, but unfortunately you're an idiot. She said contemptuously. Then I'll start. You start getting the tools and ingredients. The dish I make now is hot pot. A hot pot on a boiling stove is exactly stepping on my forbidden zone. Hot pot is a dish with no formality. The broth is scattered everywhere. All the food is cooked in one place. The original taste of the pot was all ruined. What else can you say that's delicious? The first lady covered her mouth with her hand and laughed. First young master Shi was surprised and second young master Shi was extremely upset. The second miss and Yu Yan, I feel a bit worried about you. Lin Sin is a skilled cook. He cooks like he's dancing in the kitchen. Skillful, agile, skillful, finally finished. The fragrance started to exude. So fragrant. What the hell? Everyone is flowing, salivating, drooling over the newly released dish. The young lady was also very surprised and covered her mouth with her hand. Surprised. How does this fragrance work? In addition to these common flavors, there are many types not often used in hot pot cooking. La Han K. Patchouli. There are more than 30 types. There can't be more. Normally the aromas will hide, cancel, and bury each other, but the aromas in this person's hot pot stand out as if they overlap each other. Exaggeration. This requires exact proportions to be done. She seemed to want to stick her tongue out to taste that unique flavor. Lin Sin skillfully cut the meat. Finished, he put one hand in his pocket, the other again. He gestured as if inviting him to come to the dish. Yours. I've finished the spicy heavenly hot pot. Miss Co wants to refuse or wants to try eating it. She brought her chopsticks. Her heart was confused, thinking, that fragrant structure is already very powerful. The water, if you boil it, it will make the fragrance explode in waves. Just smelling it is hard, almost impossible to resist. If I eat it, I really can't imagine what I will become. No, if I eat it, it's not. Is it no different from admitting defeat directly? At that time, Yua looked. What about me? Saw her sister and Yu Yan immersed, captivated like a hungry tiger wanting to rush to eat that rich hot pot. She was helpless. As expected, I was the only one awake. How can this kind of common food make me admit defeat? I just need to eat a little bit. Just a little bit to taste it. Just one bite and she feels like heaven and earth. Oh my god, I have never tasted anything like this. A piece of meat. It's not often that the hot pot broth brings out such a high-class aroma. No, I have to hold back. I absolutely will not lose to this low-class dish. Her whole body wreathed, feeling delicious and sore in her armpits. That's just it. I admit that you have some qualifications. The food you cook can only be barely eaten. But if you want me to say it's delicious, it's far from delicious. I've won this bet. Lin Sin smiled, scratched his head, pointed at her. Do you want to see what you're doing? Why is this? My body is so arbitrary. My mouth says one thing but my hands do another. She eats greedily. Her mouth is full of hot pot. It's bad. Eating so much at once feels like this spicy and numbing feeling. No good. Stop quickly and keep chewing like that. My tongue will. This type of spicy and numbing is pepper, horseradish, mustard, chili buffalo horn, instant noodles, ginger, pepper black and white mixed together. The amount he used too much was a trap designed specifically for her. Her tongue was numb and numb. She stuck out her tongue twice as long as a normal person. Her eyes were filled with tears. Her body like it was hot, twisted yet seductive. Her tongue, he pointed out in surprise. That's right, this is a real tongue that's twice as long as a normal person's. So the taste buds are also twice as long. Can taste more details in flavors. Good and bad are equally magnified. So many times. Mus Yan, don't explain anymore if you've already lost. Maybe it's our turn to eat. Yu Yan and the second miss said, but their eyes kept looking at the hot pot. They couldn't help but crave it. Okay, finally, the two of them decided to use chopsticks to eat. Yes, the second miss. Let's eat quickly. Don't. This hot pot is too scary. If everyone eats it, they will become slaves to the man's food. This guy cooked it. The young lady tried to stop in vain. It's so delicious. There's nothing more to say. Take 1000.000 and come here. You look at the young lady. I don't mind. How could I lose to this commoner? She felt bitter and said. Notification system. Favorability plus 50%. Co Xiang Ying's favorability 30%. Brother, I lost. The food this person cooked was so powerful. Mr. Shi held his head. Worried. My useless brother. From the beginning I knew you would fail. So I already had a plan. The plan is more perfect. Young Master Shi smiled sinisterly. What? This play is really excellent. Not bad, but it's time for the curtain call. He clapped his hands, looked at him and the girls. This is the contract of our Shi Import-Export Food Company and Coe House Co family. Because they don't have enough money. Constantly research our high-quality food products. In addition, he entices them. I invested in the risk and it was his responsibility. Now if the investment fails, we must compensate us for all the capital. Coe family is already facing bankruptcy. He took out the contract paper and pointed at Yu Yan. Look, no way, you said nonsense. The eldest lady was angry. But Yu Yan worriedly told the truth. It was the truth. These contracts were all signed by Mr. Coe. Total debt to the export food company imported she 1 billion 5. The first miss said loudly, I don't believe it, Dad never told me this. The second miss said gently and worriedly, then can we split half of Coe House's profits to no debt? After all, we have 50 establishments nationwide. The two Shi brothers laughed loudly. What kind of developments are your Coe House's profits really living in? Coe House has lost several billions in the past 2 years. It's better to give up the establishment and have to close it. Now you have only one way, which is to pay the entire Coe family to me to repay this 1.5 billion debt. After that, I will remember the long-standing friendship between the two families and take care of you and your sister. Young Master Shi looked triumphant and extended his hand towards the two young ladies. Mr. Shi approached the second miss. You are no need to be afraid. I will definitely take care of you. The second miss panicked when she saw it. Scared. Don't. Coe Yu pulled her hand back not to let Mr. Shi touch her. She quickly hid behind the eldest lady. Sister, save me, I don't like this person. The eldest lady stood in front to shield her sister. She pointed at her cousin. I will sell the entire Coe house to pay off the 1.5 billion debt. But even if I will not sell to anyone, I sell to you. Young Master Shi smirked, put his arm around his younger brother's shoulder. Oh my God, are you so arrogant? You still think you're a young lady. Now you're just a pair of beautiful sisters. We're bankrupt. We brothers are ready to accept you two as lovers. It seems like we still have some respect for you two. We'll be sold in less than 3 days before the compensation period is due. Let me see for a while. How much money can two people make in such a short time? At that time, don't want to kneel down and beg for us, brothers. He was interrupted before he finished speaking. Anyone can do it, right? I'll buy it. Lin Sin holding a card in his hand. There were 2 billion in this card. Sold all of Coe building. A total of 1.5 billion and 500 left was the development investment fund for Coe House. Yu Yan suddenly swiped the card. You have successfully spent 2 billion. Yes, there is really 2 billion. Isn't he just a trash? How can he have so much money? The two Shi brothers' eyes widened. Mouth opened. His face turned black. Who exactly is he? The two Coe family sisters were equally surprised. You, mother, who are you? Dare to come here to ruin my good things. Mr. Shi couldn't stand it anymore. He wanted to rush in. Up with you. Quickly shut your mouth. Retreat first. Young Master Shi sensed that the situation was not good. Immediately covered his younger brother's mouth and dragged him away. Let him go. Yuer is mine. Mr. Shi doesn't mind. Screaming. The second Miss Xiang Yu bowed gratefully. Mr. Lin, thank you. If it weren't for your help, I really don't know what to do. Today you saved me twice last time. Miss, didn't believe it and asked, why do you have to help us? You smiled gently. If you felt dissatisfied on the way, just help. No need to thank me. Die. The young lady stood in front of her sister. Her face serious. Could it be that you looked at my sister? I tell you, you want to use money to buy Yuer. I will absolutely not let you get what you want. The second miss immediately stopped. Sister, what are you talking about? Yu Yan went over and gave the contract to the eldest lady. This is the contract to buy back Coe House according to Mr. Lin's wishes. Please see. Miss, received the contract. Read it in surprise. The business rights and all other rights of Coe House were kept unchanged. All belonged to Coe Xiang Ying and Coe Xiang Yu. Lin Sin was the investor and enjoyed 20%. Coe House's profits. The second miss came to see. Excited. Wow, you, Mr. Lin is indeed our great benefactor. The eldest lady is still skeptical. Why did you do that? Why did it happen? There can be good people who don't need to repay like that. Sure enough, he saw you were right. Huh, she continued reading the last line of the contract. Along with additional condition number 1. Coe Xiang Ying became the secretary of investor Lin Sin. Come at any time. Condition number 2. She raised her voice. What do you mean by additional conditions here? Do you really think I will sign this contract? Brother dreaming. You cross your arms and calm down. Is that so? But this matter is not up to you alone to decide. You. The first lady shouted loudly. The second miss is quickly signing. This contract, if even only if you and your sister sign together, is it considered legally valid? Now only you are missing. The second miss quickly came and hugged her sister fondly. Sister, sign it. Mr. Lin Sin is a good person. He will definitely not do bad things. Heard his sister say that, plus what happened just now. Now, the eldest lady also softened her heart. Decided to sign. The names Seo Xiang Yu and Seo Xiang Ying appeared on the contract. Held the contract in her hand. Lin Sin was satisfied. The operation was still completed. Such beauty. A restaurant chain that is losing money like crazy. A person who is not swayed by money. Even sees himself as an extremely unpleasant counterattack target. Is there a more perfect card swiping tool like that? Moreover, she signed the additional conditions and is considered my slave. I really like seeing her uncomfortable appearance but having to obey my orders. In that atmosphere, in the afternoon sunset, on the black four-wheeled vehicle, making a grumbling, annoyed sound. Why did you drag me away just now? Obviously I can beat him up. Force him to give up his purchasing rights. I don't. What the hell do you understand? That person with the surname Lin can casually take out 2 billion in working capital. Which proves that his ordinary appearance is all fake. We can't confront him head on. I got it. Mr. Shi was at a loss. So should we just run away humiliatingly like that? I can't swallow this anger. You almost got it. Young Master Shi smiled sinisterly. Impossible head-on confrontation, not to mention that we can't play tricks. That idiot dares to take over such a loss-making COE building. As long as we secretly add fuel to the fire, by then the loss will be no less than a year. 2 billion, let's see how much money he has to make up for the loss. You're so amazing, I admire you so much. Young Master Shi looked out the window, smiling full of intrigue. It was late at night. Why, CO family villa. The eldest lady was covered in sweat. She was panting, lying on the dining table and writhing. Her eyes were fascinated, her face was red and her tongue was sticking out. On the table was hot pot. That Lin Sin had cooked in the morning. She was still eating them. It was so numb, so hot. That bastard Lin Sin obviously had the ability to make a high-class menu, but he deliberately made himself addicted to certain foods. Eating this low level, eating this kind of food is simply an insult to my God's tongue. And he also wants me to be his secretary. This hatred must be reported. His favorability Seo Xiang Ying added 5%. The system announced again that Lin Sin was lying on the bed playing with his phone. He couldn't sleep in the middle of the night. So why did he increase his favorability for no reason? Message in the phone notification. It's a chat group of a chivalrous and upright brotherhood. You guys, I'm coming to Yanjiang tomorrow. It's my good high school brother Pang Yu. Long time no see. He left a message. Tomorrow guys I will welcome you. It was Zheng Hao's message. Zhou Tong also joined in the fun. Mr. Yu, I miss you so much. Pang Yu immediately texted back. Are you guys still not sleeping? Another brother Wu Ji replied. Sleep fart. Don't get drunk tomorrow. Don't come back. The next morning, at Yanjiang Station, the Lin Sin fraternity is welcoming Pang Yu. Here, Mr. Yu. Pang Yu appeared with a huge backpack. His face is haggard. His eyes are dark. His beard is awkward. His hair is long. Pang Yu, why did he suddenly come to Yanjiang this time? Is it because he misses his brothers so much? But why did he look so tattered? Like this. The black pants on the eyes are clearly visible. Day and night. Right. Lin Sin put his arm around his shoulder and asked him. Another friend also said, I heard that you were working as a laborer. You are also very famous in the industry. Right. I'm just trying to make a living. Pang Yu touched his head. Actually this time I came to Yanjiang. It's because of Xiao Lian. He smiled. I'm about to meet my wife's parents. Delicious. You kid. What's going on? You're so old and you're hiding from your brothers. You and Xiao Lian met on the internet. At that time, I still thought you two weren't very good. I didn't expect that you would achieve such righteous results. Let's go. My brothers will take you up. Map. The brotherhood each contributed each sentence. They walked happily together. At the dormitory, Lin Sin was excited. Here, try this. Zhou Tong held the white shoes. Put these on. Much more temperamental. Wu Ji picked up the perfume bottle and sprayed it on his neck. Sprayed some more perfume. Full of romance. Burst. The previously haggard Pang Yu transformed into a bright young man. More handsome. Neat hair. Wearing the clothes his friends gave him. White shirt. Blue shirt. Trousers. White shoes. The expression on his face also brightened. He looked at the person inside and couldn't believe it. That's me. Zhou Tong touched his chin and assessed. Like this. Going to meet Xiao Lian and her parents. There must be no problem. He happily replied. Well, thank you brother, then I'll go. Pang Yu rushed over with the gift and bouquet of flowers. He remembered the text messages between the two of you. Xiao Lian, why didn't you reply to my message? Transferred 5,000 yuan, received 5,000 yuan. Pang Yu, parents, I know our story. They criticized me for being a gamer for hire. We won't contact each other anymore. What? Your parents already know. Xiao Lian, don't worry, I will go to Yanjiang. I will definitely make you two look at me with different eyes. Because in the future I will receive a lot of money to bring you a better life. Even more simple, I only sleep 2 hours a day. I will definitely be honest and take you home. Pang Yu, I'm so sorry but we should still consider the long term. Not in a hurry. Touching crying face emoji. I've arrived at Yanjiang. I've arrived. Xiao Lian's house is upstairs. Xiao Lian didn't read the message. Maybe he's still sleeping. He stood below looking up at the apartment building with anticipation. Now he will go up to find you. If she knows I'm coming, she will definitely be surprised. He opened WeChat. The conversation between the two of them appeared. Blushing faces, with a beautiful bouquet of fresh flowers. Right now at Xiao Lian's house. The phone on the bed is ringing. The name Pang Yu appears. Mr. Yun, you're really ugly. You want people to dress like this and play with you. It's disgusting. This will bring more feelings. Xiao Lian and a person named Mr. Yun were flirting around on the bed together. She was wearing this outfit. The clothes of a character in the game. Revealing in all kinds of places. Looking sexy. The two of them were having fun but the phone on the bed kept ringing. My phone is ringing. My boyfriend Pang Yu is coming to find me. Don't even answer the phone. But, I told you to listen to his phone. Didn't you hear it? He made a commanding face and ordered Xiao Lian to lie down and hold the phone to his ear. Hello, Xiao Lian. You under the door of her building. Pang Yu was picked up by Xiao Lian, so he quickly showed off. At the same time Mr. Yun went deep into Xiao Lian's body, causing her to scream out loud. Pang Yu didn't know what was going on. Something happened to her. He hurriedly carried the bouquet of flowers and gifts, answered the phone and ran upstairs. Xiao Lian, what's wrong with you? Do you feel uncomfortable somewhere? Let me go up there. Xiao Lian, you try your best. I'm coming right now. She was continuously being pounded by Mr. Yun and answered him on the phone, with a look of pleasure on her face. I'm playing League of Legends and got wrecked by the enemy EZ. His ultimate move is so powerful. I can't hold on anymore. I was confused when I answered the phone. Why is Xiao Lian's voice so strange? Mr. Yun was lying on top of Xiao Lian. You're so aggressive. I'm still trying to play with that poor guy. How long until that? She lay on the bed rocking, breathing heavily. Mr. Yun has only you in my heart. It's because he's brave enough to keep clinging to me. I can't let go. Mr. Yun smiled happily, then let her mind completely die. The two continued to climax. Xiao Lian hugged his neck and cried out happily. Both obeyed him. Pang Yu had gone up to her house. He stood in front of the door and knocked. Xiao Lian opened the door. I'm here. Open the door quickly. I've brought a gift for you and aunties. Wait a moment. Will. The door that opened was not the person he had been longing for day and night. It was a man with a welcoming face. More importantly, his pants were left unzipped and half closed. What's more painful inside is the appearance of Xiao Lian sitting on the bed, holding the blanket covering her body. Her chest and neck are full of kiss marks. She sits cross-legged, smiling and looking at him, expressing feels like it's nothing. Both gifts and flowers immediately fell to the ground. Pang Yu was stunned. Xiao Lian, I'm sure you understand now. Mr. Yun walked over and lifted Xiao Lian's body close to his. He kissed her with his lips. He sat down on the ground in shock. It couldn't be. Xiao Lian, wasn't you who said he would marry you? Xiao Lian leaned on Mr. Yun. Pang Yu, at that time I was just joking with you for fun. Mentioning my parents was just because I wanted you to find it difficult to leave. I didn't expect you to be stupid come to this. Actually running here, there is no way. Now you can see clearly. I am Mr. Yoon's woman. Pang Yu crying, holding on, don't you treat me well. Do you know, the moment you say you need money, I'll exhaust all the money I've accumulated for half a year. Every day, every night. I don't play video games at all. I eat dumplings and pickles every meal. If you're hungry, drink a lot of water. Why do you treat me like that? She not only didn't feel moved, but also leaned closer to Mr. Yoon. Standing in front of you. Pang Yu, I'm with you. There's basically no relationship. But Mr. Yoon is not like me. He is the hottest streamer on the internet. Just live streaming a match can earn hundreds of millions. While I am just a low-class gamer for hire. An order only costs $10. How bad? What can you compare with him? Pang Yu collapsed on the floor. Tears streaming down his face. So you always considered me like that. So why did you care then? Come to me like that. Ask after me. Kindly make me love you completely. That's just me being too honest. Caring about my friends. Pang Yu, you don't bring me a future. She raised her hand to her face and said, let's break up. Pang Yu, it sounded like lightning struck ears. 2 tears kept falling. He stared blankly. It was already night. At the dormitory, Lin Sin and the others were worried. Strange. Why didn't Mr. Yu reply to the message? Guys, I was planning on inviting him to dinner tonight. Are you done with work yet? Let's go out for dinner tonight. Bring your sister-in-law along. We invited guests. Where is Mr. Yu replying to messages? Messages in the chat group keep appearing. Calling for Pang Yu. Lin, please hold the phone, but your hand keeps twitching. Your right eye keeps twitching. You keep feeling like something's wrong. He called back. It's Pang Yu calling Lin Sin. Hello, are you a friend? This is the owner's number. Right, he jumped off the bridge. I saved you. I'm in Yanjiang Central Hospital now. Come here quickly. What? Jumped off the bridge. Everyone screamed in panic. At the hospital, Pang Yu was wearing a hospital gown. Was receiving fluids and oxygen on the hospital bed. Now he is out of danger. Unexpectedly he died because of that girl didn't deserve to die. The whole group of friends couldn't help but look at him with worry and pity. Only Lin Sin's face darkened. Lin Sin, what should we do? Of course it's an eye for an eye. He took out his phone to call someone. A few days later, at a luxurious party, everyone was dressed splendidly. Dresses and vests appeared one after another, under the shimmering yellow lights. Everyone happily chatted. It could be gossip. It could also be business. I heard, my good-for-nothing boyfriend went off a bridge. Why? I don't really know, but he probably wanted to use suffering and humiliation to get revenge. Hold on to me. It's just that now my heart is in Mr. Yoon's place. No matter what he does. It's useless. Your little mouth really knows how to comfort. Mr. Yoon and Seo Lian also have it present at the party. Each person held a glass of wine and chatted happily. This party was, it is said, Mr. Zhu of the esports group, held to congratulate Player P, the new mysterious team member, recruited into the team, and all the people who could participate were high-ranking insiders. Mr. Yoon, but he was able to get an invitation. What a bravery. Seo Lian waved his arm as he walked. Flattery, that's natural. In this esports world, who would dare not respect Mr. Yoon? Wait until that Player P comes out later. You can help me get an autograph worth a lot of money. Mr. Yoon, you are the most powerful. Someone spoke up. Here, Player P is here. The big door opens. Seo Lian looked forward eagerly. The people who came out of the VIP waiting room were all big guys. Player P was Pang Yu. The figure of Pang Yu and the others came out of the VIP room together. Seo Lian was so terrified that he was delusional. Damn, hey, to chase me. Did you come all the way here? The 3 people, Lin Sin, Pang Yu and Mr. Zhu, were coming. But in front of them was Seo Lian. The assistant immediately came to push her away. Please get out of the way. Please do not block the way of distinguished guests. Pang Yu, I didn't expect you to be so stubborn. I told you, now that I am Mr. Yoon's person, I will absolutely not be with you. Seo Lian hugged Mr. Yoon and looked at him contemptuously. Mr. Yoon also hugged her back and looked at him. Today is a high-class party. No matter what tricks you use to cause trouble, this is not a place you can step into. Go quickly. Don't let people have to be kicked out. That would be very embarrassing. Pang Yu's eyes were sharp. Sorry, I don't know what you're talking about. Seo Lian looked upset. Mr. Yoon saw someone's silhouette, immediately smiled, walked over and raised his hand to start a conversation. Mr. Zhu, long then we didn't see each other. I'm Wang Yoon. We met before at a social party. Mr. Zhu also politely shook hands again. Mr. Yoon, how can I help you? You probably don't know. In at your party, I'm afraid there will be some people with unknown identities coming to cause trouble. For example, Mr. Pang Yu here. I want to ask you, the minimum condition to participate in this high-class party is to be a millionaire. A poor guy like you. Where did you get the invitation? Pang Yu answered truthfully. I didn't have an invitation. It was my friend who brought me here directly. Seo Lian puffed out his chest. Disdainfully, don't be a dead duck and still be stubborn. You're just a poor gamer for hire. How dare you be rude to Mr. Yoon? Now he can protect the esports world and kill you. Go quickly, otherwise you will be thrown out. Lin Sin calmly spoke up. Maybe the people who will be thrown out will be 2 people. There, throw me out. Do you believe that all I have to do is shout, and you will immediately be pressed down to the floor? How dare you show off in front of me? It seems to me that you are tired of living. Mr. Yoon, anger pointed at him. Sentences like that of every villain I said it once. I'm tired of hearing it. Please change the script. Lin Sin pretended to be calm. You, Mr. Zhu, you see. He immediately turned to sweet-talk Mr. Zhu. It's about time. Mr. Zhu doesn't care about him. What? The hall lights turn off. The spotlight shines on the MC. Thank you for taking some of your precious time to come join us while you're busy. To attend our party, tonight, I take the sincere precepts introducing everyone. Player P just came out to join the Dragon Soul team. Saw the MC standing there. Mr. Yoon turned to Mr. Zhu and rubbed his palms. Cautiously. In fact, the party was more important. Why would it be? I can't make Mr. Zhu lose interest because of those poor guys. Who is Player P? That's right. I also want to find him for an autograph, so I can join the team. Mr. Zhu's key leader is definitely a great character in the future Infinite. Seo Lian and Mr. Yoon. The juggler. Mr. Zhu crossed his arms and looked at the stage. Wait a moment and you'll know right away. Below is everyone's discussion. I heard that player won the championship 3 times in the United States and then retired. Did Mr. Zhu have to spend a lot of money to sign with him? Dragon Soul is the #1 team in the country. How can anyone join the team without going through the screening process? This player P can directly debut. Definitely an international giant. The sound of MC went up. Now, please give me everyone's warm applause. Welcome player P. Pang Yu stepped up. The lights shined on him. He waved. Pang Yu, that's not a place where you can stand. Go down quickly. Don't embarrass people. Seo Lian raised her voice below. And after speaking, she turned around and saw everyone looking at her with unpleasant eyes. She was a little panicked. Why didn't anyone stop him? What did he want to do here? It probably didn't mean he wanted to confess to me on stage. If that was true, it would be too awkward. She thought about her power. MC happily said loudly, welcoming player P to join the Dragon Soul team. Mr. Zhu gave Pang Yu a certificate and was equally happy. Player P joined and fought. Dragon Soul team is like a tiger growing wings. The annual salary is more than 50 million. Really worthy. Everyone below is constantly cheering. This is the new key player of Dragon Soul team. Isn't it? Looks so young. Oh my god. The superstar player is worth more than 50 million. This is the first time in the history of esports in the country. The world of esports was born. Take a lot of pictures to wrote an article. Both Mr. Yoon and Seo Lian suddenly panicked. Shit, what is this? A key player, $1 million status. How could this be possible? Looking at Pang Yu shining on the field stage. The two of them couldn't believe their eyes. He's a P player. It's impossible. He and I have been in a relationship for 2 years. He's just a gamer for hire. It must be because he wants to holding you back. Wasting money to find someone to perform this play. Right now, everyone is surrounding Pang Yu. I represent Ponzi Real Estate. Want to give player P a villa in Dongcheng Lake. Invited player P to become a brand representative for Ponzi. Others said, do you live sincerely invites player P to come. We will prepare 100 million appearance fee for you. Seo Lian upset. Loud voice. That's enough. Pang Yu, even though you didn't have the courage before, at least you were honest. She pushed away the people surrounding Pang Yu, stepped forward and pointed directly at him. But now, you have become a lying god from beginning to end. Because you want to hold on to me. Yet you find so many people like this to act. I look down on you. Don't have false hope that I will come back to you. You too, Pang Yu, don't pretend how much money it cost you to hire these people. He paid 10 times more. Told them to go away. Mr. Yoon was as brainless as Seo Lian, and also followed her. However, Mr. Zhu in the back crossed his arms solemnly. He told someone to go away. Mr. Zhu, he's really just a gamer for hire. You find him to be a player. So it's not ridiculous what's wrong. You must have been deceived. Mr. Yoon is a bit cautious with you. Mr. Zhu is even more serious. I was deceived. The strict requirement to join the Dragon Soul team is to defeat all other members. Pang Yu joined the team based on his strength. No way. How could he have such technique? He listened and was confused. Lin Xin stood next to Pang Yu, satisfied. Mr. Yu was originally a talented person. He only accepted the job because he wanted to make a lot of money. I didn't expect that he would be looked down upon by others. This time, I only gave him Mr. Yu. To Mr. Zhu's team, he relied on his own strength to stand in that position. He is just a streamer who relied on advertising to get famous. Trash techniques. Bad character. Damn, you still dare to insult people in the team. He pointed his finger at Mr. Yoon. Him immediately froze, thinking angrily, unexpectedly, I'm ready to hit the wall. This Pang Yu really has luck. Well, but I don't care. After all, I'm still a big streamer. The big guy of the Douyu platform. Waiting for me to livestream and create scandals for Pang Yu. Using him as my goose to lay golden eggs. Come at that time, he couldn't help but come and beg me. Let's go. He pulled Seo Lian's hand through the crowd. Who let you go? Mr. Wang, Mr. Li, why are you two here? Mr. Yoon, you see what this is? These unique photos of you have been posted online. In the agreement you signed with Douyu we clearly stated, the streamer is not allowed to commit any violations. What's the law? You've tarnished the image of our Douyu. You have to compensate us 10 times the cost of the contract. Mr. Wang raised his hand and threw up the photos in his hand. Contemporary cloud and rain photos by director Yoon. As expected of Mr. Yoon, the eldest streamer is playing such a mess. This fruit has collapsed. A female student has already gone to the police station to report the case. This fruit is definitely dead. Online is a post about Cloud's Mr. Yoon's reign. Everyone actively commented under the post. And Mr. Yoon seemed to collapse. His eyes stiffened. He couldn't do anything more. No, that's not it. How is that possible? The pictures was hidden well in my computer's hard drive. How could it have been exposed? Seo Lian quickly scrolled through the article. She was equally panicked. This is. Damn, this is awesome. Really awesome. Looks like this girl's name is Seo Lian. I have her WeChat. She's always hooking up everywhere. She's a top tier whore. This time she's famous. Female player in the e-sport world. Gather. Bastard. I heard that she even harmed her ex-boyfriend to go jump off a bridge. What a shameless image of her having fun with Mr. Yoon. The comments are all insulting and laughing at her. Stars, it's become like this. I'm done. I'm really done. She couldn't hold back her emotions. She covered her face with both hands as if she couldn't believe it was true. Felt like the sky was about to collapse and crush her. Mr. Yoon immediately ran to where Seo Lian was kneeling down. He grabbed her shoulder and shook her. Seo Lian, this is all your fault. If it weren't for your ungrateful betrayal and hurting Pang Yu, he would also won't treat us so cruelly. He's my ex-boyfriend. He definitely still likes me. Go beg him to help us. That's right, Pang Yu still likes me. Now he is a star. His future is wide open. As long as he agrees to marry me, my life can still be saved. She stood up, walking slowly towards Pang Yu. Grab my arm. Pang Yu, congratulations. You finally made it. I know you put all this effort into wanting to marry me. After all, you are so beautiful. Who likes you? I can't tell you too much. Who knows if I'm sincere or not? So before I was just testing you. Now, I've passed the test. I can propose to you. She looked seductive and approached him. Pang Yu looked extremely uncomfortable. My God, this is the first time I have met a shameless girl like this. Someone witnessed it, but covered his mouth in surprise and said, Pang Yu. Seo Lian called out sexy. Even moved her lips towards him. Pang Yu coldly avoided. That's enough. You. Xiao Lian lost her momentum and fell to the ground. Now she craves vainglory. That shameless, vile appearance really makes me nauseous. Now get out of my sight immediately, he said fiercely. Go back to dinner. Mr. Zhu led him and Lin Xin out. Outside there is a supercar waiting for you. The driver respectfully. Please get in the car. Xiao Lian followed. Wow, supercar. Her eyes glowed. Her face was dirty. She hugged his legs. Pang Yu is sitting in the car. Don't go, Pang Yu. It's obvious that I still love you. Isn't that right? You're so thick-faced that you're holding me back. Mr. Zhu spoke up. Quickly pull her out. Remember her face. In the future don't let her come even half a step closer to Pang Yu. Yes. You guys let me go. Pang Yu, look at me, please. Pang Yu is mine. The other 50 million is mine. Why am I so unlucky? Pang Yu, please come back. I was wrong. I really know I was wrong. She was dragged around very miserably. Not only that, she also used crocodile tears to hold him back. But it was useless. The car had gone far. Pang Yu glanced at her figure in the back. Before I was still a little attached to her. This evening, I saw her true face. She's so unsightly. I've completely let go. She's not worthy of me. It's good that you can think like that. Lin Xin sat with his arms crossed, looking at him with satisfaction. Lin Xin, thank you. If it weren't for you, I might still be struggling in that dark corner. Mr. Yu, it's you. I've worked hard to get to where I am today. If you didn't really have the strength, Mr. Zhu wouldn't have signed a contract with you. I'm just helping you open that gate. No matter how I say it, the most valuable thing in my life is to be a brother to you. Mr. Zhu just informed me. Next week I will compete in Iceland. This time, I will definitely win the championship. Let you see. I believe in you, Mr. Yu. You will definitely do it. The two of them clasped hands, their eyes resolute. A few days later, the boys' dormitory. Thank you, Mr. Keon. I will show you my talent. The sound came from Lin Xin's phone. The screen showed a beautiful girl dancing. There were many comments. No, I can't stand it. Also, thank you very much. You were fascinated looking at the girl on the screen. Her dancing looked very attractive. If you have time you can ask Cha-Cha to dance privately for you. And you said that Cha-Cha's favorability rating is already 92. Right, quickly donate some money. The screen shows a notification again. Shijiang Electronic Music Festival. Famous hosts from 4 major live streaming platforms will also perform live. The night's guest, the final, is Kun Kun from the United States. A week later, waiting for you to come. Shijiang Electronic Music. Apparently Cha-Cha is also from Shijiang. Sure enough, in the show's performances there is a dance performance of her, based on according to her personality. If there is any new activity, she will run to tell me, but this time there is no movement. See if there is a chance to spend money. I texted Cha-Cha. Cha-Cha, I saw that the Shijiang Electronic Music Festival had a performance with me participating. Lin Xin, did you see it? I also wanted to ask you to come see me perform. But that dance performance only served to heat up the stage. Just stage. The organization's budget is very small, so the overall effect will be very normal. Plus being placed on the other side. My dancing is basically not bad. I should be qualified to stand in the center position. As a result, there is a tycoon who is the editor and through relationships gave the center position to someone else. So hateful, so poor that he only has money. Transfer me 50 million. Mr. Lin, please, why did you suddenly transfer me so much money? Cha-Cha was surprised. She has a big sponsor. And you have me, your top supporter. This money is enough to buy me a central location. To use it. He's so good to me. Spending millions just to get me the center spot. She was happy. Her cheeks were pink and she thought. Notification system. Favorability +3. Cha-Cha's favorability 95%. Mr. Lin, please be nice to me. Love you. I will definitely work hard to arrange beautiful choreography. I will definitely. I have to come see you. She replied coyly. Then I will take you around Shijiang to play for a few days. Okay, I'm looking forward to it. A week later, at Shijiang Airport, Lin Xin walked in. Oh, Cha-Cha booked the plane ticket for me. Moreover, when she came here these past few days, she even let me stay at her place. It's so nice. Mr. Lin Xin. Here, Cha-Cha is sitting in a red car waving towards her. Hey, look at you wearing sports clothes like this. Are you wearing them for rehearsal? He put one hand on the car door and looked at the driver and said, "These are yoga clothes. To practice stretching before practicing dancing. Wait a bit and I'll show you how flexible you are. You live in a rented house in this bad neighborhood." The car stopped. In front there was a girl struggling to carry a big black bag. "Sister Seo, why are you throwing away so much trash? Preparing to move house. Cleaning the house today. Throwing away some unnecessary things. Huh, you're about to move. The condition of this building is so poor. Dignity, the landlord also has a problem. I can't stand it anymore. Besides, won't you move out in 2 days? I can't bear to leave you at all." Cha-Cha hugged Seo Jin. Lin Sin walked out, get out of the car. Walked towards the girls. "Oh my god, isn't this the big brother at the top of the list that Cha-Cha often mentioned? Finally meeting a real person. Quite handsome." Cha-Cha raised his hand to introduce. "Mr. Lin Sin, this is my neighbor, Seo Jin. We often play together. Every time there are cockroaches in the house I ask Seo Jin for help to save my life. My boyfriend ability explodes every time I kill a cockroach that you all invited me to a feast." Seo Jin put his hand over his mouth and smiled. "I love cockroaches so much." At that moment there was an echo from behind us. "Are we still talking? Before 12 o'clock in the afternoon I have to check out. I have to pay more if I'm over time." Seo Jin, the image of the landlord appeared, looking at her with a greedy face. "Don't worry, it's definitely on time. I don't want to stay any longer." Seo Jin walked away uncomfortably. Cha-Cha turned to say to Lin Sin, "Let's go upstairs too." Cha-Cha unlocked the door. His room, she appeared. On the table was a computer. Next to it was an exercise mat. Just talking downstairs took too much time and didn't have much time to practice stretching anymore. "So I won't do it anymore." Lin Sin walked towards, then replied. She went in and pulled her jacket off. Tilted her head to look at him. If she didn't do it, it wouldn't work. Just do a few simple movements. Stretch faster. Then Cha-Cha's figure in a yoga outfit appeared. "Round, come out that round." Correct. She started practicing yoga, with both hands on the ground, both legs in the air to maintain balance. Her whole body was shaking a bit. Stretching her muscles in a hurry like that was not effective. "Let me help you stretch your whole body." Both of your hands touching her waist. Cha-Cha's waist. Through the new movement. Cha-Cha. Put your head on the floor. Bring your whole body upward. You have one hand holding one of her thighs down. His hand also touched her foot. One more time. The last two movements were really effective in stretching the muscles of the whole body. Cha-Cha's whole body was sweating. He raised his hand to wipe his forehead. "Mr. Lin, please. Why are you so professional? I often learn from BNP station. You are proud. Teach me a little more." She cooed, holding his hand. Then he pressed her legs again. He pressed her down, pressed her legs towards her head. Cha-Cha felt a little pain. Only a little pain would be effective. Suddenly her lips touched his chin. The atmosphere was loving. I was interrupted by the alarm. "Oh my god, rehearsal time is here. Please bother Lin. Please be patient. I'll play with you again tonight. Must come on time to watch me perform. Hey, I choreographed this performance for you." She quickly opened the door with her bag and walked out. He waved. "Sure enough. I heard that water and food at electronic music festivals are expensive. Tin doesn't even let people bring in water. We should still eat something and go." He opened the refrigerator to look. There was a loud argument outside. "Don't you think what you did was too much? Do you still have any shame?" He opened the door to probe. It was Cha-Cha's neighbor's voice. "Stay away. Don't bother me to assess the damage for the homeowner." He opened the door and walked out. Saw a group of people including Cha-Cha's neighbors. "What are you looking at? Wait a bit and have to come to your house to collect that money." The landlord just pointed at everyone standing around and said. Everyone heard that and immediately picked up their sandals and ran away. "Son, this girl is very sour. You keep her and don't let her. I was disturbing." The woman looked at the boy standing next to her and said, "Don't you dare touch me." Seo Jin was upset. Lin Sin leaned against the door with one hand in his pocket. "Isn't that right? In broad daylight like this, someone dares to commit such a despicable act. Like this, we should call the police to arrest them all." "You, Mom, who is he?" Angry son. Seo Jin surprisingly, big brother ranked first on the list. Heard the host family thinking to themselves, Isn't the big brother at the top of the list the kind of stupid guy with lots of money who gives gifts to streamers? What are you guys arguing about? You come closer to Seo Jin. Who is when I checked out. I would assess the damage. But this landlord was looking for trouble. I argued with them. They pushed me again. She put her hands on her hips angrily. It wasn't just a normal damage assessment. Usually, what is there to argue about? I don't understand that this dog owner is very perverted. The owner is holding a bright lamp. Both of them are dazzled. What is this for? Assessing the damage. That but also don't know. The owner and the woman from earlier went into the room to evaluate. She pointed at the cabinet. There were 2 scratches. And he turned the chair upside down, looked at the light and said, there were 3 dents on the chair legs. Then continued 10 bars with horizontal stripes. 4 bars had cracks. The total damage to the entire house was 365 seats totaling 57.400 yuan. The room was covered with red paper marking the damage. He concluded even raised his hand to ask for money. Sam Nang, why don't you just go rob it for more than 50,000 yuan? Seo Jin angrily pointed at him. Robbers don't get this much money. You guys. Items and compensation for losses are clearly stated and all have clear evidence. In the rental contract, it is also clearly stated that all damages caused by the tenant must be compensated to the landlord according to their needs. According to the extent of the damage. He smiled greedily. Those are called damages. Obviously all of your rooms are already there. Even if you want to ask me to pay even a penny. Seo Jin is patient, determined to fight back against them. The homeowner stood blatantly, arms crossed. I don't know where you got so much money. But if you have it, let your boyfriend pay it. You know I have money. Lin Sin happily asked. You are her number 1 boss. Right, even though you didn't watch the live stream. The news was that the number 1 boss donated so many things to the room owner. I heard a lot. Don't waste any more words. Quickly give me the money. I also have to go clean the room. I'm very busy. I'm not as idle as you two. I'm impatient. Oh, the money to trap your tenants is also good. I have to let myself breathe first. Lin Sin paused, scoffed. What are you nosy about? Don't you see I'm assessing the damage to this room so tired that I'm covered in sweat? I'm not standing around like you. Renting a room is like that. A tenant just need to be in charge of expenses. But there are too many things the homeowner has to think about. He and his wife, a toss-up, have a good mind and a cunning. You bastard, I absolutely will not pay money. And moreover, you have to return my house deposit. Seo Jin, angry, raised his middle finger towards them. The landlord said again, definitely not paying. Right, okay. The boy carrying Seo Jin's suitcase walked out, a sinister look on his face. My luggage. You were prevented by the other 2 people from taking your luggage back. Not respecting the compensation contract. I have the right to search your bag. Oh my god, if you move your hand again I will call the police to arrest you. The boy opened Seo Jin's luggage. He rummaged through the luggage, her underwear just fell out. He pervertedly lifted up her bra to show off. Oh, I can't see it. He normally looks like a man but the underwear is so lewd like this. You really know how to pretend. At the same time the landlord stopped her and took the opportunity to touch her butt. Don't move around like that. Let me go. She raised her hand and stroked his face. Bitch. You dare to scratch my face. He raised his hand, wanted to physically impact Seo Jin's body. Lin Sin behind him quickly stopped his arm. The landlord's strength was weaker than that. Looking at you, the first-ranked big brother finally wanted. Have you already paid? You grabbed his arm and looked at him. No, you can't get even a penny from that compensation money. Ha, every other tenant said the same thing when they first started. In the end, aren't you still obediently compensating? If you say so, mister, is there a way? This entire building of mine doesn't cost a penny. The landlord smiled cunningly. You say? Oh, Lin Sin squeezed his arm harder. The homeowner shouted loudly, cursing. The boy quickly ran to stop. You dare to hit my father. But Lin Sin quickly dodged away, making him accidentally slipped and fell to the ground, accidentally touching the chair. Blood flowed. Seo Jin picked up his suitcase and walked away, leaving big brother. Let's go. The deposit is like giving it to the dog. Those old foxes. Me, I can't provoke you, and I don't want to get you involved. You think you can go? Come here quickly. Someone is causing trouble. The homeowner picked up the phone and called someone. A bunch of people. Someone immediately appeared. Lin Sin also calmly took out his phone. Called someone. Who wouldn't know? Brothers and sisters. Does anyone know the shabby neighborhood of Shijiang? Hear his voice. Are you from another area? Calling people from our area. Do you want to make me laugh to death? He put his hands on his hips and smiled, while the other woman crossed her arms. Welcoming, welcoming. It's best to call more people in. Dare to cause trouble in our Dongguo village. If you don't lose a layer of skin, then don't leave. Let's go quickly. Seo Jin was a little worried and quickly pulled the new forest away. There was no time. The landlord's group had arrived. Full of people. Lin Sin still calmly looked at them. The rule of law society still finds so many agents like this here. It's really tyrannical. An old man wearing a white shirt walked out and laughed loudly. I'm the homeroom teacher of this neighborhood. Young people should not be so hot-tempered. The landlord quickly pointed at him and Seo Lian and whispered, the homeroom owners are these two people. Not only will they not compensate for damages when renting in our room and even hit people. The village head is right. This house has charged unreasonable fees of tens of thousands of yuan when inspecting and assessing the damage of the room. It's best to specifically re-educate him. Don't let he alone affects others. Lin Sin pointed at the homeowner and explained. The image of our village doesn't need someone from another area like you to care. You just care about yourself first. Go, hand over the compensation money. Everyone doesn't need to make a fuss and be unhappy. The village head looked at him and said, no wonder this landlord is so arrogant. It turns out he has his back. He doesn't. Are you afraid that we will call the police? The village head and his people laughed loudly and called the police. When this city was not yet developed, our ancestors of Dongguo village already lived here. This is our area. The police can't take care of this place. Even if the market comes, we have to respect our Dongguo village. If you know how to be reasonable, please obediently give me money. Of course, in addition to compensation, I still have to give our brothers 20,000 yuan for their hard work. Seo Jin panicked, hugged Lin Sin's arm, weakly. I have no money. She trembled. Alone one day, I went to a big city to do business. Left early and came home late. I was tired of working and dying. I originally wanted to earn some money for my grandmother's medical treatment. I didn't expect to encounter this kind of landlord. How could you bully me? Someone else like that. She felt like she wanted to cry. The woman put her hands on her hips and laughed at Seo Lian's face. Oh look, weren't you still so sour just now? Why are you crying now? Finally scared. Huh, it's late. No matter how much you cry, the money still has to be paid. The boy also joined in and said, workers like you are the easiest to make money. If you don't make it, then who will make it? The landlord looked at Seo Lian hiding behind Lin Sin's arm. Happily. Hey, big brother is ranked first. So let's get out of your pocket. The compensation fee plus the fee for delaying your work here. Total 200,000 if you feel uncomfortable. Then go back and tell Seo Jin to pay you a few nights to pay off the debt. Right, he laughed loudly. Quickly come and give me the money. We guys are very busy. Still holding on. If we wait any longer, the cost of delaying the work will increase a lot. Seo Jin was worried, held his arm. Sadly, sorry, I bothered you. He held her hand. Don't worry, it's okay. No need to be afraid. The landlord hugged his stomach and laughed loudly. No need to be afraid. It turns out this top-ranked big brother doesn't understand the current situation. Son, let him wake up a bit. The boy used his foot to kick down Seo Jin's luggage. My luggage. Seo Jin panicked. The boy became even more aggressive, crushing her suitcase. His expression fierce. Now it was clear what the current situation was. However, Lin Sin smiled coldly but calmly. Who was still? I don't know the current situation. It's you. The sound of a police car rang out. A series of police rushed in. A captain shouted loudly. Everyone stood still. Their eyes turned O and their mouths A. Panicked. Lin Sin walked towards the police. Put the phone in front of them. Hello, I'm the one who reported the case. These people are involved in intimidation, blackmail, threatening others, suspected of having illegal construction along with many other crimes. There are witnesses with complete evidence. The phone plays back the recording of the conversation just now. Aren't you afraid that we will report to the police? This is our area. The police can't take care of this place either. If you know what to do, then obediently hand over the money. The homeowner's family looked tense. But the village head smirked, put his arm around the police chief's shoulder, and pushed Lin. Please come out. Even take out the cigarette box. Oh, isn't this Captain Chen? Long time no see, I was thinking of finding you for tea. The landlord whispered in Lin Sin's ear. Sorry, this is it, is that what you call calling that person? You want to make me laugh to death. What a pity. Our relationship is something you can't imagine. Remember what I said before. Even if the mayor came here. That's right. He didn't finish his sentence. The captain over there shouted loudly. Don't do that to me. He raised his hand and blew away the cigarette box in the village head's hand. The captain bowed respectfully. Mayor, the situation is under control. Please. The mayor appeared majestically with his hands behind his back. The village committee went to cover for the cruel and organized landlord. Evil forces are oppressing the people again. Quickly arrest suspects and bring them in for investigation. Mayor, they all gasped as if they couldn't believe their ears. The mayor frowned, seriously looking at the village head. Dongguo Village People's Committee will abolish the position of head of the village from today. And bring him back. The bureau continues to accept the investigation. This time there is no bail. Don't, Mayor, I gave you wine 2 years ago. Have you forgotten? The deputy mayor is also my good brother. You see, the village head was sweating profusely, holding out a pack of cigarettes in front of the mayor with both hands. But the mayor was even angrier. But he dared to slander a state official and add another crime. Otherwise you would be fine. Listening to me, he clasped his hands together in supplication, looked at Lin Sin, who had already smiled victoriously, and gritted his teeth. Bastard, you. He rushed towards Lin Sin as if he wanted to hit you. Suspect tried to commit a violent crime against another person, and resisted arrest. Arrested. The mayor gave the order. The policemen opened fire on the village leader. He screamed in pain. The homeowner was also shot. Why was even me, the homeowner's wife and son, panicking, shouting loudly, Dad? The wife rushed to beg the mayor. Stop quickly again. It's obvious that my husband didn't do anything. How could you guys shoot a gun? Lin Sin spoke up. Didn't the person renting the room also do nothing? You guys impose and cut him down. When I suck someone else's blood, I'm still very arrogant and proud. But when I'm bleeding myself, I start to open my mouth and talk nonsense. If you guys use lights to evaluate the damage, then I'm talking nonsense. To assess the crime, the wife and son were indignant. You are from another area. What the hell are you arrogant about coming here? Who do you think you are? Immediately the two of them were held at gunpoint by the police enclosure. The mayor ordered that the homeowner's family intentionally destroyed other people's property, intentionally caused injury, threatened others, caused psychological harm, and also wasted work time. So compensation must be made. Give this girl 200,000 yuan. No, Mayor, please listen to my explanation. The assistant gave the mayor a stack of evidence papers. He turned it over. According to the information about this house, it was determined to be illegally built. In addition, some people also reported that he owed them wages and construction materials. Now, he was fined 1 million yuan, at the same time demolished the illegally built house. They cried, held their heads in disbelief. No, why is it like this? In the past it was possible to set a trap. Why is it this time? Lin Sin came over. The mayor shook hands with him. Fortunately the mayor came forward. Otherwise we would have been bullied by these people and could not clear our name. Mr. Qian has been famous for a long time. Then that person was even more frightened when he heard his name. Mr. Qian, what kind of god is this person? Why does even the mayor have such a good attitude towards him? It's rare for you to come to Shijiang to play and yet leave you with such bad memories. I'm really sorry. Actually, my goal is to turn Shijiang into a famous tourist city. So I wonder if you are interested in investing in a cultural tourism project. The mayor held your hand tightly. Well, you can think. Wait for me to investigate. You think, maybe there is a tool to swipe money. Then I will contact you. The mayor with joy in my heart. Secretly, if it wasn't for Mr. Fei of Yanjiang and Mr. Shuru calling together to tell me the situation here, I would have really offended this rich man Mr. Qian. I originally wanted to turn Shijiang into if a famous tourist city gets investment from such a rich man. The mayor thought with joy. And the others lost hard. It turns out we were blind, kicking ourselves in the iron plate. In the end, let's get them arrested. Thank you for helping me. Let's add friends on WeChat. Okay, your screen shows you sent money. Aren't you short of money? Why send it to me? Seo Jin looked at him a little shyly. I know that money is very little, and for him, this amount of money is not enough to buy gifts. But today's matter was solved thanks to you coming forward. So I have to show off a bit. Although I lack money, I still know the morality of gratitude and gratitude. Lin, please be happy. Because that dark-minded landlord is really not a good person. I can't stand it either. So I accept this 800 yuan. Seo Jin suddenly pounced and kissed his cheek. Don't misunderstand. I didn't mean to dig Cha-Cha's corner. I simply wanted to express just thank you. Anyway, we won't have a chance to see each other again in the future. Bye-bye. Finished talking. Take your luggage and go. He chuckled. What a straightforward girl. Now there's nothing left to do. Okay, let's go to the performance hall. At the performance venue, the lights were sparkling. There were so many people. Lin Sin looked at it and exclaimed. The stage was so big. It was more bustling than I imagined. As expected of an electronic music festival supported by 4 major platforms. When will Cha-Cha's performance start? Before your eyes are couples who do not hesitate to show their affection for each other. A girl sitting on her boyfriend's shoulder cheering. Or couples hugging each other passionately. The atmosphere is really not bad. On stage the orchestra is on fire. The sound is noisy. Below is the constant cheering of the audience. Not only that, you also see a couple who are a bit too affectionate momentum in public too. He just smiled and looked at it. Oh, he saw it but shouldn't say it. At this time the MC introduced the guests present in the final. One of the guests of the final DJ was in top 100 globally. Kundi walked in excitedly. Hello everyone. Outside his fans were screaming loudly. Is Kundi, an extremely bustling scene right now. Are people crazy about him? I couldn't help but push the fence and step forward. These beautiful hot girls rushed over without noticing and collided with the people around them. They shouted excitedly. I finally met someone. Really, Kundi, I really like your music. Kundi is now hugging the girls running to him. His hands are uncontrollably touching sensitive parts. But the girls are still very happy about it. Kundi, you're beautiful, so handsome. I prepared a gift for you. His eyes became even more lecherous. Oh yeah, I really like your gifts. At this time Lin Sin's eyes became disgusted by that action of him. He was more surprised to see a man boldly walking towards him. Quickly get rid of your rotten hand for me. A hand grabbed a girl's arm, then pulled it away from Kundi's body. That was Zhao Wei. He pulled the girl towards him and angrily pointed at the other man. Hey damn, do you want to make fun of my girlfriend? At this moment the girl was shameless and instead pulled her shirt and blamed Zhao Wei. Zhao Wei, are you crazy? This is a foreign cultural ritual. See you kissing the cheek is a sign of politeness. Only a despicable person like you feels that people are gossiping. Besides, when did I agree to be your girlfriend? Don't be here talking nonsense. Misunderstanding. Zhao Wei saw the person he loved like that and was bewildered. You. The girl who didn't care about Zhao Wei immediately left him and ran towards Kundi. Kundi, wait for me. Zhao Wei is hotter than food right now, chilly. He couldn't help but swear. At this moment Lin Sin walked over and patted his shoulder. Zhao Wei, is that girl your girlfriend? Zhao Wei turned around in surprise. Mr. Qian. Then he hugged his head was full of helplessness. That girl was someone I had known a while ago. Unexpectedly she was a Western fanatic. He couldn't control himself but lost his temper and shouted. That Kundi is not just the one who 3 years ago ranked top 10 in the global DJ top 100. Damn it, in the end it's still because he's American. Lin Sin smiled softly to comfort Zhao Wei. Thinking about it, at least look, knowing someone so early is also a good thing. At this time the MC introduced the stage, followed by the performance of 5 famous female streamers of the Leopard platform. Below everyone was excitedly shouting. Only Lin Sin and Zhao Wei stood still without emotion. Lin Sin thought to himself. Cha-Cha is about to perform. It turns out he only came here today because of Cha-Cha, even though the MC introduction was done. But there was still no one in sight. On stage, no one knew why. At this moment a silence covered the entire place. The audience below were constantly shouting and screaming. Why haven't we seen anyone on stage for so long? Oh hey, where are you? Hurry up and perform. The stage is so deserted. At this time the host shyly bowed and apologized. I'm so sorry everyone, there was a slight technical adjustment backstage. Please welcome Sexy Fox's performance. The audience below couldn't sit still anymore. They became even angrier. What are you doing? Please hurry up. After the female streamer's dance performance is over, it's Kundi's turn. Don't waste time. We want to see Kundi perform. It seems that the leading dancer in this performance is that Cha-Cha girl. Right, I found a big brother who ranked first and then appeared on the news several times. So now I'm arrogant. Damn it, go to the platform to complain to her. If she doesn't come out, I'll ask for a refund of the ticket. Lin Sin saw that the situation was unstable and was a bit worried. Strange. Went backstage to see what was going on. He walked towards the backstage where no one was there. He pushed the door himself in. There was no one there. Security guard. At this moment he saw Cha-Cha and two other people standing in front of the door. Inside the room there was very exciting music. Cha-Cha was full of anger. He was probably inside and then broke the door and left. The young man pulled out the key. Don't. I got the key. I can open the door now. Lin Sin walked over full of wonder. Cha-Cha, what happened? Cha-Cha turned around. Mr. Lin Sin, our performance team has a member named Hei Mei. Before going on stage to perform, she was nowhere to be seen. As a result, she ran into Kundi's room and refused. Went out. At this time the other person was using the key to open the door. After knocking for so long but no one opened it. Kundi, what are they doing inside there? As soon as the door was opened, the three of them stunned speechless. In the lively music room, cigarette smoke everywhere. Kundi was hugging two naked girls. The soft features of their bodies were all on display for him to see. At this time Kundi, who was in a state of ecstasy, was immediately startled. He widened his eyes and stood up. Fuck, who are you to dare to barge into someone else's private room? Get out. The two girls cried out shyly. At this time, the clothes were scattered everywhere. The security guard was confused. Kundi, isn't he about to go on stage? Why? Cha-Cha couldn't believe his eyes. Hey Mei, you quickly get dressed. You're going to be late of the performance. Hey Mei didn't listen and instead blamed Cha-Cha. You're so annoying. I still want to be with Kundi. Then she turned and used her long, soft legs to rub Kundi's legs. Smiled in satisfaction. We still weren't happy enough. The short-haired girl next to me also used her chest to press against the Kundi and moaned happily. That's right. After this girl was happy, it was my turn. At this time, both girls' ankles had the symbol of a spade. Cigarette smoke was still billowing around them. Lin Sin and Cha-Cha were both uncomfortable and had to cover their mouths. Cha-Cha grimaced. Hey Mei, what have you eaten? At this time Lin Sin pulled her back. Don't come too close. Inside this room are all smelly things. So smelling too much will cause problems in people's brains. At this time Hey Mei doesn't know bad things, on the contrary. She put her clothes back on and said in a provocative voice. Hey, don't you really admire me? Because I can be with Kundi. He's American. Moreover, Kundi agreed later. Hey will take us back to the country together. Then she turned to ask Kundi coyly. Isn't that right, Kundi? He pretended. Yes, my baby. With momentum, Hey Mei's imagination became even richer. Coming when I'm famous in America. I'll be in America making money from the Chinese audience. I admit that in the past I really admired her for having a top-ranked big brother. But compared to Kundi, it's nothing. Mr. Hoa Kwok is so low. The short-haired girl next to him also chimed in. Yes, my wish is to be able to give birth to a child with American blood. Lin Sin smiled lightly. Sister, you two still really believe in the theory of elite mixed-race children. Being brainwashed is enough. Then Lin Sin explained. Because the IQ of Chinese people is also the highest in the entire world. In order to take care of high-ranking people who only have lower IQs. The admission scores for American schools for Chinese students are dozens of points higher than other schools. With that expression, they always promote the culture of equality. It's really ridiculous. Not listening, Hey Mei shouted. These are all news that I want to blacken on the internet. I don't believe you guys. Go away. Don't be here to prevent me and Kundi from playing together. It's a waste of time to explain. With that kind of person. At this time the girl next to him didn't care and caressed the Kundi. Wow, the Kundi has two heads. At this time the Kundi suddenly raised his voice. Wait a minute. Then he walked up to Cha-Cha and extended his hand to get acquainted. Pretty girl. Cha-Cha, you are very beautiful. I like you very much. Want to stay and play with me? This time he said as he reached down to signal. You still haven't tasted my premium Armstrong gun yet. Right, the two girls saw that and immediately whined. Kundi is obnoxious. There are two of us and that's not enough. Then you are full of confidence. Moreover, I can help you deal with the anger of the outside audience. Let's just say that I asked everyone to help coordinate the performance. Which is why it was delayed. The audience outside will surely forgive you for performing so late. At this moment Cha-Cha said the fatal sentence. Please, sorry, he's too small. Then she raised her hand to show how small it was, making the young man next to her laugh. At this moment she stood close to Lin Sin. Even my Lin Sin's little finger was bigger than his. Kundi was shocked when he heard that. What? Then he raised his foot to shoot a blow at Lin Sin even though the other person stopped him. Are the men of the country more powerful than me? Don't be ridiculous. So now I'll show you how weak the Chinese men are. Kundi punched Lin Sin in the face and laughed loudly. I told you, the Chinese men are a bunch of soft eggs. Just seeing me threaten, not daring to move. Lin Sin stood still. He used his forehead to fight back. Kundi screamed in pain. He screamed so much that the phlegm in his throat flew out to heaven and earth. I don't understand why the women are so fascinated. Lin Sin's strength did not expect to be so formidable. He shot far away and fell onto the sofa. The chair fell out immediately. Two girls screamed, Kundi. Two girls ran to help him up. Kundi, are you okay? And he was in pain when he touched his nose. It hurt so much. This lowly Chinese man broke my nose. Then he roared, how dare you Chinese people scold, cursing and injuring someone like me who ranks fourth among black, white, and brown in America. Call your manager here. I want to call the police. I have to chase you away. Chase Cha-Cha away, let all the outside spectators be violent. At this moment a voice rang out from behind. No need to be so annoying. The voice came from Boss Lei of Leopard Tooth platform. The same two the bodyguard walked over. I had already reported to the police. At this moment Cha-Cha was surprised and couldn't help but think. Boss Lei, the big boss of Leopard Tooth platform. Why did he come here by himself? Kundi was not embarrassed at all. He shyly spread his hands and said excitedly, you guys understand what is called international status. Right now he is acting cool. Boss Lei, right. I have a resort villa in Palm Beach, Florida. Flower periodically, every 3 days. I hold a party, with all kinds of stars and internet celebrities attending. For the ordinary rich people of China. It is simply a dream scene. I don't even dare to dream. If you came here today I would make you the first guest of the flower country to be invited by me. At this time, those two brainwashed girls widened their eyes. Oh my god, Palm Beach, that's the area where there are many millionaires in America. If you can just walk there for a while, your life will be worth it. At this moment Boss Lei waved his hand, apologizing to this black customer who didn't know what to call him. What? I still haven't finished talking. Just now I said that I reported the incident here to the police from the beginning. Then Boss Lei couldn't keep calm and pointed at him and shouted. You blatantly using illegal drugs in China, beating Chinese people, raping Chinese women, maliciously sabotaging music festivals, cheating on contracts. These crimes are enough for you to sit down. Already in jail. Everyone who heard it was surprised. At this moment Boss Lei ignored the Kundi. His voice and face immediately changed. He reached out to shake hands with Lin Sin. He had heard Mr. Qian's name for a long time. Still, I wanted to meet you but I couldn't find a reason. I didn't expect to meet you at this unpleasant scene. It's really embarrassing. Just leave it to me to deal with from now on. There's no need for Mr. Qian to deal with these types of trash. Dirty hands. Lin Sin shook Boss Lei's hand and smiled lightly. Then he was bothering Boss Lei. At this moment Kundi walked over in anger and shouted, Boss Lei, you made a mistake, right? It's obvious that this guy rushed in on his own, came into my private dressing room, even raised his hand to hit me. Yet he called the police to arrest me. Boss Lei couldn't bear it anymore. Arresting you is arresting you. In the area of the country want to arrest a guy even though you're black. You still have to tell the time. Look what you've done. You dare to play with toys at my place. At this moment, the two girls were lying on drugs, laughing with satisfaction. On the table scattered cans and pills. Kundi is truly fearless. He crossed his arms over his chest and argued, this drug is legal in America. Because your country is a backward country. That's why you put such drugs on the list. Ban. This stupid and ignorant country still wants to arrest me. I am a noble DJ from America. Has won an award in the top 100 DJs in the world. This trash program of yours has paid extremely high prices to invited me to perform. I had to reluctantly do it. At this moment Boss Lay's face was full of contempt. Wherever you go, you must respect the law there. You are an American and you don't even understand morality. That's it. Besides, it was your manager who begged me to give you a position. So we reluctantly agreed to let you participate in the electronic music festival. Do you think we are very valuable? At this moment the short-haired girl shouted angrily. What are you talking about? Kundi is a DJ in the top 100 globally. Worth more than billions. World famous and also American. Can go to replace this little guy's performance is already saving face for us. But he's not even grateful and wants to call the police to arrest him. I don't know what kind of intoxicating drug he gave this girl. Lin Sin suddenly force. This girl, if you have assumed that Americans are one level higher than others. Then you can see clearly what happened next. Then he called Zhao Wei. Zhao Wei, making the girl bewildered. I don't understand what's going on. At this time, Zhao Wei walked in holding the phone in his hand. Mr. Kundi was scared at this moment but still tried to argue. What secret news? You're talking nonsense. At this moment he held up the phone in front of the two of them. Open your eyes and look carefully. It's all news about Kundi's crime. At this time, Kundi and the two girls were both shocked. At this time the two girls were still stubborn. Kundi, those things were all fake. Right, I don't believe it. They must have created fake news to smear you. At this time, Zhao Wei immediately gave proof. Just say it with your mouth. Don't believe it. This is a US credit rating website. Kundi's credit rating in the US is currently in a level D violation state. By the way, this website is public. You can access it to see the credit ratings of American citizens. Hey May, close your ears when you hear that. I don't believe this is all the work of you low-class people teaming up to harm Kundi. The short-haired girl pretended. Kundi, can you refund the 100 yuan green card fee to me? I want to think more about going to America with you. At this time Kundi shook her hand. So, relying on your strength to cheat money, how can you return it? Knowing that he was deceived, the two girls shouted loudly, hitting him repeatedly. Those things are all real. He is not just a poor guy and he also has an infectious disease. You killed me. Quickly give me back my money. At this time he physically affected two beautiful girls. Go away you motherfuckers. At this time the police have arrived. Who is it? Reported to the police. There is someone using banned substances here. Boss Lay quickly replied. It's me. The evidence is all here. These two girls are also suspected of being involved and brought in for questioning. Look it up. At this time, the three of them were all given silver bracelets. Hey May cried. I was wrong. I was really wrong. I was tricked by this American, so I did this. I am innocent. Cha-Cha on this side laughed lightly. It's really good to know Americans. In less than a day I was given a pair of silver bracelets and also provided free food and accommodation. At this time the police took Kundi away but he was still stubborn. Wait, yes. I want to make a phone call. I have the right to make a phone call. The manager quickly notify the embassy to come rescue me. I want diplomatic immunity. On the other end of the line rang. I watched it live at the music festival. Kundi, I've told you countless times. Why don't you listen to my advice? I can't help you anymore. Don't be brainwashed by our country's propaganda. Do you still think that Hoa Quoc is a country that you can easily bully? Think about it. If Hoa Quoc is really so easy to bully, then why does our country respect them so much? Moreover, it's okay to commit a crime against anyone. So you just go and commit a crime with the secretive rich man Mr. Keon. Mr. Keon made the Kamida tycoon in Japan go bankrupt. And that day, Kamida died of drug poisoning. Overindulged. I told you not to cause trouble when you come to the flower country. But you didn't listen. At this moment he looked at Lin Sin with fear in his heart. What? He is Mr. Keon. He is the secret rich man in the legend of the country. Kundi realized at this moment that he had offended the person in front of him. He begged bitterly, Mr. Keon, I was a bit harsh on you just now. Because I was stupid. I begged, don't kill me. Lin Sin raised his hands in embarrassment. Who wants to kill you? Don't talk nonsense. That Kamida was suicide and has nothing to do with me. At this time you pointed your index finger at Kundi. Then who would be angry with a clown? It's just a pity that the small group of people outside who come to see him perform, in order to repay their expectations to him, asked him to stay inside. trying hard to write music. Keep it up. At this time the police took the three of them away. Boss Lay crossed his arms over his chest and told everyone, "The electronic music festival can continue. How about audience? Since I walked in, my bodyguard used his phone to broadcast live to the big screen outside." All the audience knew what happened. Online forums. Society at this time is filled with news about Kundi, the black DJ Kundi, for crimes such as using, carrying, inciting others to illegally use drugs, defrauding people of money, and kidnapping many people, to smuggle into the country. It is expected that he will have to spend 30 years in prison. Below the post, many netizens left critical comments expressing their attitude towards the guy. At this time Boss Lay and Lin Sin exited the room. Boss Lay was enthusiastic. "Mr. Keon, everything has been resolved. I have something to tell you." Lin Sin was cold. "What's the matter?" On this side, Cha-Cha stood up full of spirit. "I also have to prepare to perform." Zhao Wei stood behind her and shouted, "With Mr. Keon's help, Miss Cha-Cha will definitely be able to become the most famous star on the internet." At this time, Zhao Wei approached her. This time, if it wasn't for that black guy who missed her performance, Mr. Keon would not have given me 200 million to investigate documents about that black guy. This matter, it was the scene where the CEO silently paid for the female lead. Cha-Cha was surprised to hear that. "What? Does Lin Sin love me like that?" At this time, Lin Sin and Boss Lay were chatting and suddenly Cha-Cha called then came. "Mr. Lin Sin." She ran to hug him. "Mr. Lin Sin, I love you." Cha-Cha's enthusiasm level has increased by 4% and reached 100%. Congratulations to the host for achieving 100% attack achievement for the second time. Successful comeback. Cha-Cha and the host's relationship has changed. From now on she will be devoted to the host and never betray. The second phase of the counterattack costs 250 million. And the host gets back 25 million in his personal account. All attribute bonus +1. Current all attribute rank 11. Can choose any skill. Lin Sin looking at Cha-Cha hugging me tightly. I thought, success again. This time Cha-Cha came closer and whispered in Lin Sin's ear. "Tonight I have prepared a very big gift for you. Wait until then." You see. On the stage, electric lights sparkle and music plays. "Thank you for your understanding here. We have made you wait for a long time. Next, please enjoy the dance performance of 4 famous female streamers. The sound from the leopard tooth platform." Below the audience was excited. Screaming, exciting music was playing. 4 girls in gorgeous costumes, swaying their slender and flexible bodies, made the audience's hearts flutter. Dynamic. Lin Sin below was also excited. He raised his hand to make a like symbol. Seeing that, Cha-Cha also made a heart shape and puckered her lips at him. It's true that no one is normal when they fall in love. The male fans below their eyes were shining brightly. Cha-Cha, I love you. Scene change. At this time the TV was replaying performance scene that night. In front of the non-stop swaying and dancing, the 2 people were now lying on the ground embracing and kissing passionately. It was truly a treat for the viewers. In front of the seductive butt toss on the TV screen. Cha-Cha also reenacted that scene at this time but on Lin Sin's belly. Didn't stop there, she continued to reenact seductive scenes for Lin Sin to see. Who could stand this thing before the screaming in the act TV? Cha-Cha, I love you. Cha-Cha, waiting for you to live stream. I will give you a golden dragon. My goddess. Lin Sin looked at Cha-Cha with joy. Never thought it could be like this. TV still replayed the screen. That performance has never stopped. My god, no one is watching. Cha-Cha showing off all her curves. Her butt rubbing against Lin Sin. Mr. Lin Sin, love you. Do you like it? Lin Sin right now unable to resist. He kissed Cha-Cha greedily. I like it. You always surprise me. Lin Sin's hands wouldn't stop moving all over her body, crushing her. The music echoed throughout the building. What a wonderful day. A few weeks later at the dorm, the sounds of screaming, fighting, must try. I went to shoot it. It turned out they were playing a game. The guy was interested. Yes. In the room Lin Sin and Zheng Hao each sat in a corner playing games. Suddenly Zheng Hao's alarm rang. He regretfully, I'm sorry. Oh my god. I haven't finished playing yet but I've already set the alarm. I forgot. I still have to take the exam. At this time Zheng Hao opened the computer to prepare for the exam. Lin Sin came closer and was curious. What subject was he taking? Do it directly on the computer. Zheng Hao pointed at the computer. This is a biology and physics test. For international university students. You can take the test directly on the web. This is an open test and you don't need to register. Just have a student card. If you are in the top 10.000 you can get extra credits. If you accidentally get in the top 10.000, wouldn't it be nice to write on your CV? Lin Xin now returned to his desk. 10.000 people can add credits. Trying a little won't cost anything. Half an hour passed. Zheng Hao scratched his head. It's so difficult. There aren't many questions I know how to do. He discovered that on the other side, Lin Xin Dan was sitting and playing games. Had he given up? That's right. This problem was indeed very difficult. Lin Xin on this side yawned, thinking. The problem was so boring. I still thought how difficult it was. But, it's too simple. Don't waste it. Just writing random things can probably make it to the top 10.000 people. Suddenly he looked at the computer. The last question is a bit interesting. I don't know if it's possible. Can you do it? It's a bit of a challenge. At Shikatsu University, the bright sunlight penetrated every building. In the room 3 professors were discussing in front of the computer. Professor, the last problem was a bit overwhelming for university students. Right, that was a question asked by Professor Nottingham and I thought it was a bit difficult. At this time Professor Nottingham walked up. I did that on purpose. He walked over leisurely. Times have changed. Need for college students, the level of study is a bit more difficult. In fact, the question does not need to be answered correctly. Just having the correct solution can give you many points. At this time the other professor looked thoughtfully at the computer screen. No wonder Professor Nottingham. The exam questions were also very detailed. At this moment a student ran up in a panic. The professors had the scores. They all picked up the tablet and whispered. Now AI, the development is really great. Using AI to scan very quickly. Who is in the top 5 this time? Must be a student of Shikatsu and Sisal Science and Technology. Every time they take the top 10 exam, they all take it. They were surprised to discover that the person in the top 5 was none other than Lin Xin, a student of Yanjiang University in China. They were all shocked. Who is this person? Yanjiang University is a university. Study. Never heard of it before. Professor Nottingham looked it up and gritted his teeth. Found it. This person can't answer many of the basic questions above. Logically speaking, in the top 5 impossible. But he answered the last question. And it was completely correct. The people next to him were full of surprise when they heard that. What? The 4 students in front of him couldn't do it. Why? This person can do it. Impossible. Absolutely impossible. If the above basic questions are all answered incorrectly, then on what basis can the last question be answered correctly? Don't tell me you intentionally didn't do the above questions correctly. At this time Professor Nottingham shouted angrily. Why do you still need to ask? This is definitely cheating. This kind of thing definitely cannot be tolerated. Okay. He must have used some trick when doing the last question. This has to do with the fairness of the physics competition. Yanjiang University college student right. Causing pressure to the Physics Research Institute in Huaguo, telling them to find that person. At this time on social networking sites, the fact that Lin Xin entered the top 5 of the international physics competition has become the main topic. Many Chinese people left compliments and congratulations for him. At Yanjiang University, at this time a white car from Yanjiang Physics Research Institute stopped in front of the school gate. At this time some people walked out, led by Professor Tang of Yanjiang University of Science and Technology and Professor Zhang of the Institute of Physics Research. The students of the school saw this and were talking loudly. What's wrong? Who are these people? Picture it was as if some big person came looking for someone in the dormitory mail. The principal is responding. Professor Tang raised his thick glasses. The principal of our research institute came to find someone. If you still want to hide it, it won't be very good. The principal is holding a cane in one hand and the other leaning back and laughing loudly. Professor Tang, listen to me, there must be some mistake. After all, there are hundreds of thousands of people taking the same exam and it is very normal for the system to accidentally miscalculate. Well, Professor Tang frowned. No need to delay. Great Shikatsu School in the UK has directly contacted the physics department to come find you. Only give us 2 days' time. If we can't find that cheating student, then the entire Yanjiang, even China, we will become a laughing stock. The principal laughed lightly at this time. Since it has something to do with the school's students, then I will definitely coordinate the investigation and check to the end. But what if there is a mistake? What should I do if it's harmful to students? We should discuss further and draft the rules. Even so, he couldn't help but worry in his heart. The person you're looking for is Lin Sin. How can Lin Sin have money to participate? The International University Student Physics competition was okay, but if he cheated, there must have been a mistake somewhere. Then he thought to himself, Lin Sin is the legendary rich man Mr. Keon. Why is such a character like that? Being able to be arbitrarily investigated by outsiders is not easy for me. I just felt proud in front of him. If I offended him because of this, I would suffer losses that are hard to estimate. Lin Sin was drinking milk while passing by and saw a lot of people he was curious about. Curious? Why are there so many people? At this time 2 classmates walked in. Lin Sin, are you here? Can you really do that question in the exam? It's amazing. At the Yanjiang Physics Research Institute, send someone to investigate you. The principal is blocking it. It's better to run away quickly. Lin Sin panicked. What? On this side. Professor Zhang shouted impatiently. Principal, you deliberately delayed the time. I see that you also participated in the cheating. Maybe it was you who planned it. Then he said contemptuously, beggar, with a principal like that, your Yanjiang University's reputation will deteriorate. Then take away Yanjiang University's official status. And that Lin Sin, quickly report him to the police. Just when Lin Sin leisurely walked in with his hands in his pockets. Everyone wanted to find you. Right, you're here. The students outside saw Lin Sin coming in and were extremely shocked. The principal was also full of surprises. Lin, please. Professor Tang turned around. You are Lin Sin. Professor Zhang at this moment did not distinguish between right and wrong and went to point at Lin Sin. Don't hide anymore. I have checked your grades. Clearly pointing as a literature student. My scores in every subject in the last semester were at a normal level. And I could be in the top 5 physics exams for international university students. Who would believe it? This time, the principal behind was angry. That's enough. This is the matter of our Yanjiang University. It has nothing to do with this University of Science and Technology. Professor Zhang smiled disdainfully. Why is it unrelated? I am also among the members of the Yanjiang Physics Research Institute. Moreover, the elite students of Shikatsu and Sisal were not able to take the high-ranking exam. But an ordinary student can get into the top 5. Do you know the price? The real value of this competition? Then he turned to Lin Sin. Believing that he could make it to the top 5 is better than believing that I am Qin Shi Huang. Lin Sin smiled lightly at this time. I was just doing the test at will. But why did you feel like your tail was stepped on? Surely you are not the owner of the European Physics Academy. Right? Professor Zhang heard that very much. Annoyed. You dare to say such words to me. You poor students all have this type of appearance. Then he pointed at Lin Sin and shouted loudly. Now take the test here immediately. If you don't dare, then it proves that you cheated. Don't dare to do it. Right, as expected. You cheated. Lin Sin shook his head and laughed. If the teacher wants you to do it, then you have to do it. At best it will cancel your achievement. Who cares? Mind. At this moment Chia Yuxuan stepped forward and said loudly, I believe Lin Sin. Which school one studies at does not represent whether a student is excellent or not. Which country one lives in does not represent whether that person is one level higher than others. Then she looked at Lin Sin with affectionate eyes, recalling the moments when she saw Lin Sin attentively studying a certain subject. Lin Sin is the most outstanding person I have ever met. He always studies quietly and seriously, surprising everyone, so I believe he must rely on his own strength to create achievements. With her surprising appearance, the students whispers in school, Chia Yuxuan is a talented woman, a beauty queen of the literature department, and has delivered many essays related to literature. It is said that she is also the director of the Yanjiang Museum. So young, to have the affirmation of such an excellent female student. Lin Sin is definitely really capable. I feel a bit jealous of Lin Sin. Professor Zhang shouted angrily. You are no matter what. A literary beauty queen is just a flower vase. Other than looking pretty, there's nothing left. Chia Yuxuan was impatient. Mister, the teacher is too much. Lin Sin gradually became uncomfortable. He crossed his arms over his chest. He did not expect that he was a teacher with a successful career. His mouth was not so clean. Just starting out, he did not believe that the country can have someone in the top 5 exam. Why do you have to come here to talk nonsense? You can accept the test, but if you pass, the teacher will have to apologize. Admit your mistake to Chia Yuxuan. Sorry, students nationwide. Do you dare to do it? Professor Zhang put his hands on his hips. Oh my god, I'm so scared. If you pass the test, I will not only apologize but also bow my head to the ground and apologize. Lin, please be cold. Okay. Professor Zhang feels proud. Then we are ready to see a good play. Professor Tang walks forward now. Okay, Professor Zhang, time is tight. We had already prepared the location, so we immediately started going. They walked to the lecture hall together, and 3 beautiful girls walked in. Lu Cheng gently rubbed his chin. Hearing that Lin Xin accepted to take the test from the Physics Research Institute professor here, Su Ruo was surprised. Lin Xin still knew physics. Lin Xin said nothing, crossed his arms coldly, while Professor Tang was talking to a student below. It rang out. Oh my god, it's true. Su Ruo was excited. Lin Xin knows everything. This is so perfect, isn't it? It will be more difficult to pursue him, but I'm even more interested. Lu Cheng is full of disdain. Such an elite Lin Xin will attract even more shameless scumbags. We have to protect, he's better than that. Then she thought to herself, if I were his girlfriend it would be even better. As if reading her mind, Luo Yaxi teased. Lu Cheng, don't think about it anymore. Then Luo Yaxi turned to said, Lin Xin can be accepted by everyone. Only you are not okay. Until now you still haven't come to your senses. But Lu Cheng didn't listen at all. She looked at Lin Xin passionately. At this moment her pride had increased by 0.1 and reached 99.7%. She looked at Lin Xin longingly. Why did I only discover such an excellent person until now? Before I'm blind. But I absolutely won't let go of Lin Xin. I really love you. Lin Xin is confused right now. Huh, Lu Cheng is crazy. The boys next to him saw 3 girls. I can't help but be jealous of Lin Xin like that. At first glance, that guy looks stupid and incompetent. How can he be favored by so many beautiful girls? At this moment, the exam question appeared on the screen. Professor Tang looked at Lin Xin. This was the exam question. Lin Xin said nothing and looked up at the exam question. Everyone below shouted in panic. What? This question is not something a college student can do. Okay, I heard that in the national physics exam, the last question is also a question outside the scope of the textbook. But it was also perfectly answered by Lin Xin. Professor Tang extended his hand to invite you. Let's go. Professor Zhang stood behind proudly. Kid, you're done. This is a question that took 3 years for Professor Tang to solve when he was young. The difficulty level of this question is much higher than the last question. At the International Student Physics Test, below Su Ruo shouted angrily. Hey, that's not fair. Professor Tang looked at Lin Xin. I also know how difficult this question is. So there's no need for you to answer everything. As long as you have the solution, it's considered that you passed the test. Lin Xin looked at the question thoughtfully. It was indeed identical to the last question. Both extremely interesting. Professor Zhang couldn't help but be impatient. Even pretending. Up to this point you're still pretending to me. Solve the problem quickly. If you can't solve it, the disciplinary action will be expulsion. It will be recorded on the report card. This time it will be effective. The leader standing behind couldn't see anymore. Professor Zhang, after all, this is also the matter of our Yanjiang University. Please don't overstep the hierarchy. The students below are also extremely upset. That's right. What are you doing in our Yanjiang University? Professor Zhang turned around and shouted loudly. Domestic university students are inherently poor. Isn't this obvious? I know it's because of guilt. Lin Xin just coldly said. The emperor is not in a hurry. But the eunuch is in a hurry. Making Professor Zhang extremely angry. You, damn it. Finished speaking, Lin Xin's hand quickly took off to write down the lecture on the board. So fast that it looked like a programmed robot. Then he threw the chalk out and shouted loudly. Done. Made everyone overwhelmed. Wait. Stopped for about 2 seconds. The atmosphere in the lecture hall at this moment. It was as quiet as lightning. Everyone couldn't believe their eyes. The students below were buzzing. What is he doing? How come he finished writing in just a few minutes? He wrote so fast. I don't know was solved correctly or not. Was his answer correct? Professor Tang shouted in surprise. Absolutely correct. Professor Zhang was speechless. What? Lin Xin now helped cheer Yuxuan up to the podium. Yuxuan, come here. Standing here is the best position. Then he looked towards Professor Zhang, who was now extremely scared, to receive the teacher's sincere apology. Professor Zhang was shy at this time. It was definitely necessary to apologize. But when he lowered his head to the ground, he turned down under the hundreds of thousands of sharp eyes looking at him, making him even more scared. Then he turned away. The girl clasped her hands. Sorry, before the teacher was a bit hasty and spoke too quickly. He was also for the face of physics in the country. Surely this girl wouldn't calculate. Right. Chia Yuxuan pondered. Seeing this made his stomach flutter. These university students are very shy. As expected. You just need to be a little polite and soft and they won't pursue you anymore. Right. Immediately Chia Yuxuan changed his tone. It's so embarrassing. Teacher, I think it's not you who owes I apologize. The person you should apologize to here is Lin Xin. Then she pointed her finger at Lin Xin. Professor Zhang was stunned. Huh. Chia Yuxuan became impatient. Just now you said a lot of excessive things to him. Shouldn't I say that I bowed my head to the ground? If it was just such a superficial apology. I'm sorry, I don't accept it. The students below also vehemently objected. That's right. Don't you still look down on the students of the Chinese nation, saying that we are not students of European schools? At this time, everyone couldn't control themselves and rushed to Professor Zhang. Apologizing. Go, bow your head to the ground and apologize. Professor Zhang panicked. What are you doing? Don't, stop. Lin Xin said to Chia Yuxuan. I didn't expect you to be so tough. Chia Yuxuan was shy. It's not like that. Suddenly Professor Tang walked over to shake hands with Lin Xin. Classmate Lin, you are a once-in-a-hundred-year genius. How lucky I am to be able to meet you. There is no need to doubt your strength. Teacher, I will announce the results of this test to the European Physics Agency along with the national media. Please make sure you participate in the finals. I also want to invite the city to give you a reward. My level has surpassed most professors. Do you want to come to me to do research? I will definitely give you the best. Lin Xin immediately waved her hand shyly. No need, no need. I should still be a normal student. Moreover, I didn't intend to make it to the finals. The purpose of taking that exam was just to get some credits. At night at Chia family's house, Chia Yuxuan was talking to his close friend. So, he's heading to Lujin University tomorrow for the final round of the physics exam. Isn't that impressive? The other side rang. Isn't the person you like majoring in literature and literature? Why would he take the physics exam? Chia Yuxuan was a little angry. I just said so much. You didn't even hear a word. I wonder why you're still working. This side Jiang Xiyan is still working. Assistant, she brought a stack of documents. Miss Jiang, look, here is the latest data. She reached out to take it. Still talking to Chia Yuxuan. The latest research has made new progress. I'm so excited. Excited. Can't stop at all. On the other side Chia Yuxuan complained. You seem to have been working overtime for several days. No wonder you are completely unaware of the huge uproar on the internet. Shi Yan teased. I don't usually watch news about these competitions. It's just you and that person you like. Two nerds who smell like each other. Chia Yuxuan was excited. A workaholic like you continue to work overtime like this every day. Be careful, there will be many wrinkles. You won't be able to pursue the person in your heart. Shi Yan is full of excitement. Now my relationship with him is better. I just need to do it achievements. And then confess your love in a favorable situation. Absolutely, the water will flow like a river. On the contrary, you bookworms, if no one helps you, you will probably never dare to confess your love in your whole life. Chia Yuxuan got angry. Okay, let's see who can escape being single first. Shi Yan saw that and smiled lightly. Okay, she thought to herself. I hope my provocation works. The next morning at the airport lounge. At Yanjiang Airport. At this time, the principal was sending Lin Xin off. He advised a few things. Classmate Lin Xin, do your best. You don't need to put a lot of pressure on yourself. It's okay if you don't get any rank in the competition. Lin Xin politely replied, thanking the principal. Unexpectedly, the school also included air tickets and food and accommodation for me. The principal replied, you are for the sake of the school, for the country to win glory. So this must be complete. At this time Professor Tang and some other students shouted loudly and cheered. There was also us. Classmate Lin Sin, you are our hope. This time we absolutely cannot lose. So we also went over there to see. Who dares to bully you in front of you? Lin, please have fun. Thank you for the support of the Physics Research Institute. Then let's go. This time Chia Yuxuan walked over. Wait, I want to go too. Lin Sin was surprised. Chia Yuxuan saw everyone looking at her in bewilderment and quickly explained. Principal, I was an exchange student in Lu Jin halfway years, and is very familiar with Lu Jin, so I can also contribute a little effort for my classmate Lin Sin. Please let me go too. The principal was supportive. Not bad. It's rare to see classmate Chia Yuxuan being so kind. After arriving at Lu Jin, he immediately bothered the guide. Chia Yuxuan was happy. Thank you, principal. For the purpose of this trip is that she wants to be with Lin Sin. The plane has now taken off into the sky. The principal is standing below looking up. Classmate Lin Sin, wish you all the best. On the plane Professor Tang gave Lin Sin a folder. Classmate Lin Sin, these are the questions in the previous physics competition and this is the content of this year's physics exam. There is a lot of information so you can choose some parts that you are good at. Lin Sin picked up the pile of documents and immediately activated the passive ability of level 2 mental ability. Learning quickly. Normal people have to study knowledge for several years to acquire. I could finish learning this passive skill in half a day. Then suddenly I didn't see Chia Yuxuan anywhere. Chia Yuxuan went to the bathroom for a long time. Why hasn't she come back yet? I'm a little uneasy. Then he walked towards the restroom area and knocked on the door. Chia Yuxuan, are you there? Inside, Chia Yuxuan's voice rang out. Lin Sin, save me, making him extremely panicked. Inside, Chia Yuxuan tried to open the door latch. I don't know why the toilet door was broken. I couldn't open it no matter what I did in here. Lin Sin immediately used level 1 power. The structure of this door is convenient to push from the outside. Let me try. Finally the door was opened. Lin Sin was worried. You weren't hurt, were you? Chia Yuxuan was embarrassed. No, it was just that in a situation like this, it was very embarrassing for him to come to the rescue. Suddenly Chia Yuxuan slipped. Lin Sin cried out in panic. Be careful. At this time outside the flight attendant was calming everyone before the shaking. The plane encountered strong turbulence. Passengers, please buckle up. Seat belt. Then she discovered that there were 2 empty seats. She thought, where are the 2 passengers? At this time in the toilet Chia Yuxuan fell into Lin Sin's arms. The 2 of them were embarrassed. Lin Sin lifted her up. The airflow must have been disturbed. Did she hit something? Chia Yuxuan immediately said, no. Her mind was full of embarrassment. Oh my god, this position is too stiff. The plane continued disturbed, swaying in the sky. Lin Sin picked her up and sat on his lap. Before the air current passed, we were still safe to sit down. This made Chia Yuxuan blush. She remembered the words of her best friend said last night. It's only you and that person you like. 2 nerds who smell like each other. She was annoyed. I'm not a nerd. Then she hugged Lin Sin's face. Giving it to her, he kissed him passionately. At this time her excitement level had increased by 3%, and reached 93%. She took his hand and placed it on her smooth white thigh. Surprising Lin Sin, Chia Yuxuan did. Why are you so proactive? Then he touched her butt and slid his fingers through her sexy outfit. This feeling, she moaned with satisfaction. The 2 looked at each other passionately without looking away. Suddenly transmitted from outside the doorbell rang, making both of them extremely startled. Passengers, are you inside? The faces of the 2 of them were now getting closer and closer together, causing Chia Yuxuan's face to suddenly turn red. She looked at him and said, oh no, the flight attendant found us. Are we going to be detained? Lin Sin said. He looked at her and smiled and said, don't be afraid, let me. Then he opened the bathroom door, looked angry and said, and she hid behind him looking weak. The quality of the facilities was above your plane is really worrying. My friend was locked inside, and encountered a lot of turbulent airflow. If I hadn't used force to rush in, the consequences would have been unpredictable. Hearing that, the flight attendant suddenly felt sick, feeling scared, then immediately lowered his head and apologized. Sorry customers, we will make appropriate compensation. And then the 2 of them walked out, revealing his red cheeks, and he went ahead and said, Okay, I will wait for you to give me a perfect explanation. The air outside right now is cool, clear. The breeze blowing gently makes each branch trees and leaves gently pass by. The white university exudes nobility and dignity. This is Lujin University, where the final exam of the international physics competition takes place. In the exam room, a professor stands there. The class podium said, "Welcome all contestants to the final round of the 30th International Physics Competition." Everyone listened attentively. He said with a serious voice, "This is a competition organized by the physics organizations of the European Union. It aims to select the best talents and promote the advancement of physics." It turns out this is Nottingham, professor at Lujin University. The examiner gave the physics competition question. The contestants at this time were all seriously listening to the other professor's speech. He continued carefully, 3 people, the highest winner in this competition will receive his own honor, will also have the opportunity to join the European Institute of Physics and participate in the most important research work of humanity. In terms of rewards for the championship, enemy, let's ask the previous champion Eston to announce it to everyone. At this moment, Eston suddenly appeared with a face full of confusion. Without waiting for him to react, Professor Nottingham continued, "Eston is also one of the judges in this competition." Eston, the voices suddenly started whispering more and more. After he finished introducing, Eston said bewilderedly, "Fame is just an attachment. Just something that will allow me to get more research grants. Nothing is more important to me than overcoming difficult problems and researching topics. It turns out you are heir to the Rockefeller family genius physicist. Last year's international physics competition champion." He then continued, "The reward for this championship is to join my team. On behalf of my family I will give the winner $5 million. The topic I'm researching is geocurrent changes and earthquakes, and I included it in the exam as the last question of this contest." Finished speaking, he quickly left that place and said, "It was like that's it. I don't like to say too many meaningless words. I wish everyone a smooth competition tomorrow." The contestants below were all happy and exclaimed, "Calling your name, Eston, Eston." This time the man wearing the yellow shirt leaned forward and said, "Oh my God, a direct reward of $5 million. This is quite a lot of money." Hearing that, the other person quickly replied, "Eston is the heir to the Rockefeller family in the country, America. The family is rich so they can spend so much money on prizes." "Oh my God, how can someone be so good?" The other girl said again, "I really want to join his team." The words of the 3 people they had already caught Lin Sin's attention. He listened from beginning to end. Outside the exam room, Professor Nottingham chased after Eston. He quickly said, "Eston, you really don't consider being my student. I can give you more research materials." But before he could finish speaking, he quickly left with his words. It was unnecessary. He didn't have time to say anything. But, he thought to himself uncomfortably, geniuses are always arrogant. It can be explained. At this time, Lin Sin also just left the room with Chia Yuxuan, making him pay attention to him. Then suddenly remembered something that thought to myself. That is. As soon as Lin Sin stepped out, everyone around him was gossiping about him, making Chia Yuxuan next to him look uncomfortable and look at the 2 of them. The other guy stood from afar looking at him and said, "That person is the student who passed the exam. 5th place in the country. Actually came, taking the exam at the same exam location with this type of person. It's really annoying." The last question in the exam was given by Professor Nottingham. This question of his was criticized. This Chinese liar used it as a stepping stone to get 5th place. He was probably the most annoying person. Then the person next to him also said the same thing. After all, after so many years, there hasn't been a Chinese person. Whichever country gets the ranking, this time will be no exception. At this moment, the professor suddenly raised his voice and said, "Rest assured, after tomorrow's exam ends, all faces will be revealed." Then he continued with a slightly disdainful tone. "In the academic world it is impossible for someone to be so ignorant as to make a fool of himself." His words at this time made Chia Yuxuan angry. She shouted, "Sir!" But before he could finish speaking, Professor Tang came to the end with a tone mixed between serious and angry. He said, "It turns out this is Mr. Nottingham. If the representative has the quality of Lujin University, then I'm only sorry." The brown-haired girl also agreed and said, "Aren't you guys showing off your status? This is really too gentlemanly." Then Professor Tang quickly continued. Today, it was like I had my eyes open to see how the world's top university students behave. No matter what, any evidence, slandering other players, defaming their character, we don't know what would happen if this story were posted online by us. The words at this time made the man defame Lin Sin was extremely frustrated just now. He said, "You guys, you just wait. The competition is based on strength, not words." Hearing that, Chia Yuxuan also triumphantly quickly smiled disgustingly and said, "You guys also know how to rely on your strength. Tomorrow, don't lose too much. It will be unsightly, making the other person not know what to say other than 2 words. You guys, this side," that Professor Nottingham said with a look his voice seemed to want to reconcile. He said, "Don't talk too much. You are all top geniuses in Europe. Tomorrow you will be in battle to defeat your opponents. You know." After saying that, the 3 of them quickly walked away with eyes full of disgust. The other person said, "I know, Mr. Nottingham. Tomorrow we will definitely let the country understand what it means to crush IQ." Making Professor Tang was furious. He said, "Tomorrow will open your eyes. A bunch of bastards." Then Lin Sin happily praised him. "Thank you, Professor Tang. So handsome, Mr." I adjusted my glasses then smiled and said, "Lin Sin, you just need to concentrate on thinking about the competition. We absolutely won't let those people influence you." Then he quickly replied, "Okay." This time Chia Yuxuan quickly kissed Lin Sin's cheek. She said, "I have a feeling you will do well in the exam. My intuition is always very good. Because I got a pretty girl." He happily replied, "Thank you." At this moment, Chia Yuxuan was so happy that her cheeks were red. She said she would wait for you to finish the exam. "I have something to tell you." Hearing that, Yu happily replied, "Oh, I'm a bit curious." Said, then, he raised his clenched fist and said happily, "Thank you everyone for supporting me like this. Tomorrow will definitely open up these foreigners' eyes." Then they happily shouted, "Lin Sin, come on." On exam day, when the candidates have settled into their seats, surrounded by exam invigilators and under the podium are judges sitting seriously in their seats. At this time the announcement suddenly goes up, handing out the exam papers. Then, Professor Nottingham immediately raised his hand to make a sign. He said, "Start the exam." On this side, Eston was secretly thinking, depressed and tired. Last night he stayed up all night to do the experiment but still couldn't solve it. That difficult question, if anyone can answer it when he got the last question of today's exam. He thought about it again. I actually thought that someone would be able to do that question. I'm really crazy. It's basically impossible. At this time that Nottingham professor was also surprised to see Lin Sin appear today. He thought to himself, that guy, even if he dares to come, he won't give you a chance to cheat. At this time the examiner sitting next to him suddenly said, "Professor, no problem as for the security check. According to your wishes, I specially arranged for 2 security inspectors to check on him. His hair, ears, ballpoint pens, belt buckles, shoe soles, were all checked. Investigate carefully. He couldn't have brought any cheating tools with him." Hearing that, he immediately asked, "What about CCTV?" At this time, the other man immediately said, "Don't worry, I've arranged place him in the middle seat. And the 4 CCTVs in the room will monitor him 360 with no dead angles. Along with the patrol of the supervisor. Even the slightest suspicious move will be caught immediately." The professor now smiled cunningly. He chuckled. The liar of the country was extremely desperate. At this moment, no matter what everyone was talking about, Lin Sin was still fiercely focused on doing his exam, making the 2 people sitting next to him suddenly think. Silently, writing so fast, so did the other person. Him think, he must be scribbling nonsense. This cheater is giving up fast, not even trying to pretend. Lin Sin now looked at the blue-haired guy, teasingly said, "What are you doing? Do you want to peek? Will you cheat?" He was disqualified from taking the exam. Your sudden words made him suddenly surprised and then angry. I peeked at him, because the voices of the 2 of them now caught the judge's attention. He quick reminder, this candidate should pay attention to the rules, stop the competition. Then the blue-haired boy was scared and focused on his part. After that, he got angry and cursed under his breath. Fuck, you're being led by that clown. Don't worry about him, do well on your question first. Eston said yesterday that the last question would be about changes in ground currents related to earthquakes. And then, he immediately put pen to paper thinking about the last question. So I contacted some professors who researched the issue this night. If there is anyone here today who can answer the last question. When his hand just turned over the last question, he excitedly silently affirmed, then it must be me. But life is not like a dream. He was suddenly stunned by the question of the test. So much so that he was sweating and thought to himself, how, completely incomprehensible, this is beyond the scope of life. Already in the textbook, how could anyone write this question? Eston himself couldn't go. At this moment suddenly Lin Sin's voice spoke up with a bit of arrogance in his voice. Well, the last sentence, this is a bit of a challenge. Hearing that, the boy next to him immediately thought in surprise. Shameless. Didn't wait long. Lin Sin put down his pen and quickly answered the question. This time the system board also appeared along with the use of words. Giving motivation to add 11. After getting the extra point, he took the test at a speed as fast as the wind, making people feel like there were sparks coming from the pen. He stood up, finished his homework, thought happily, completed it. Seeing that, the two people who were in awe of him just now quickly felt surprised and couldn't believe their eyes. At this time, Lin Sin quickly left, coming to the examiner who submitted the exam. Everyone here was surprised and started talking around. What? The exam has been submitted. It's been less than 30 minutes. Have you given up already? The bald examiner at this time he took Lin Sin's exam paper. Then panicked in disbelief and said, Here, at this time that Professor Nottingham was still thinking that he had given up early on this exam. So he said proudly, many people are very curious about the achievements of this Chinese fraudster. So it's just that I came to grade his papers. Hearing that, Lin Sin immediately responded freely as if he knew in advance. Fine, then mark it on the spot. Then, his face suddenly changed from when he picked up his exam paper to grade it. Couldn't believe what was happening in front of his eyes. He turned his face again, later to watch again, but his face was still the same. He suddenly became so worried that he was sweating, then immediately called out to the surveillance room to check the monitoring and confirm that he was really not angry, cheating in any form. On this side, the other examiner was equally scared. So he quickly replied, okay. At this time the students below who were taking the exam were equally surprised. Suddenly Eston standing up. He spilled the entire cup of coffee on the table. He thought in surprise, could it be? Then quickly grabbed Lin Sin's exam paper from Nottingham. Then said, give it to me. At this time Eston was extremely surprised, panicked again by his answer. Nottingham's face became worse and worse. He was angry when suddenly a voice came from the machine he held on the rail. The surveillance room had repeatedly affirmed that there was no space. Cheat. The previous questions were all answered for a few seconds. The person on the other end of the phone continued. All correct. Making everyone surprised. What? Eston walked out, holding Lin Sin's exam paper. Still in his hand, picked up the phone again and said loudly. Not just the front, but the idea of the last question. I think it's very feasible. Then he quickly continued. Sorry, I need to call the lab immediately, angry and in love with you. They verified based on this data. I would like to be absent for a moment. After listening, all the contestants were now depressed and worried. Saying so, ending there is only one argument. This Chinese male student was able to get this score based on his strength. On this side, that Professor Nottingham was very angry. He thought, no way, he really, the question is how to do it. And over here, Lin Sin happily said, the exam is over, let's go home to sleep. But unexpectedly, Nottingham suddenly stood up as if to stop him from leaving. He said with no more disdain. He didn't expect that he had real talent and knowledge. Now all the previous questions have received maximum points. Just waiting for Eston to announce his score for the question. Finally, according to the rules, we have to wait until everyone has finished the test before we can give you the final total score. Then he continued speaking, but based on my personal appreciation for you, I can make an exception and officially invite you to join the highest physics academy in Europe. Lin Sin immediately said in confusion. Didn't wait for you to say anything. Teacher, the other monk continued to extend his hand with sweet seductions. As long as you have the status of our physics facility, no one will dare to doubt your strength. You spent so much time to studying physics. Coming here to fight under pressure. Isn't it because of this? Still shows no signs of stopping there. He continues to speak as if pouring honey into his ears. The dream of many researchers' research is to work in the highest scientific research facility in the world. As long as you have certain contributions, I can register to help you change your nationality. From here, but before he could finish speaking, he was interrupted by Lin Sin's laughter. Saw him laugh in disgust, leaving him speechless, not knowing what else to say. Then he immediately said, "Sorry, I can't help it. Your joke is too funny. First, I don't need you to confirm my strength. Second, I have no intention of lowering my status by changing my nationality." Teasing words. His teasing at this time made the other professor angry. He slammed the table and shouted loudly, "Do you think that with only such test scores you will be recognized by the world? It's useless. If there is no proof, the reality of our organization, based solely on achievements like this, you will not be able to find a good position in Europe, let alone receive research funding. Without money, you are nothing." Everyone, hearing that, Lin Sin pointed at Nottingham and said frankly, "It's so embarrassing. Your European rules don't apply to me. I came here with only one purpose, which is to hit you in the face." Said that he quickly walked out the door and said goodbye. The other professor also chased after him loudly saying, he was just an ordinary genius. He actually thought he was very rare. Why, we don't lack at all. This time when he chased closer to you, he couldn't help but say, "We still have Eston, we have both money and ability. This is the real thing." Just finished talking, then the voice came from Eston's phone. It was successful. "Eston, the experiment was successful. The data is real." At this time Lin Sin walked towards Eston. He asked, "What are you doing?" Just then Eston had, because of the shock just now, he suddenly dropped his phone. Suddenly, Eston suddenly knelt down, clasped his hands, looked at Lin Sin and said, "Still hoping for the master to accept me as his disciple." Words. What he did at this moment made everyone witnessing this place shocked. The other person couldn't help but say, "Oh my god." The girl next to him couldn't believe it either. What? Genius Eston, our number one, knelt down with this person. Even Nottingham was surprised at this time and said, "What are you doing, Eston?" At this moment, Lin Sin was suddenly confused by Eston's words. He said, "Promise the master." Upon hearing that, Eston immediately said, "Your creation of knowledge is truly extraordinary. In such a short period of time, you have solved a problem that we couldn't solve in a year." He continued talking with his hands clasped together. "I thought there weren't many people in this world who could guide me until I met you. I saw my own mediocrity and shortcomings. I really want to improve." Said then he held a golden card with a lot of money in it. He said, "Master, 500 won in European currency. This is the championship bonus agreed upon before. I will give you another 500 won as a tribute to the master. If the master needs anything in the future, the Rockefeller family will do their best to help you." Lin Sin looked at him with a somewhat unexpected look in his eyes. He said, But there was no time to instruct others. Hearing Lin Sin's refusal, he quickly knelt down and bowed to Lin Sin, his voice expressing pleading look. "The fifth-generation head of the Rockefeller family. Eston, please accept me as a disciple, master." Lin Sin was holding the yellow card at this time. His voice seemed to be thinking about something. Saw that he was willing to hold his card. Eston was a little happy, grabbed his hand with both hands and said, "Master, you don't need to open your mouth. My current strength is too low. I really don't have the qualifications. As your disciple, in the future I will improve my strength and then go to the door to worship the master again." "I understand." At this time, Lin Sin was a little speechless. He opened his mouth to say, "Not a brother." Just at this moment, suddenly a group of people came to record and speak. We all heard it outside. "It's a candidate who got the maximum score. May I ask which university in the United States are you studying at? Can you accept our exclusive interview? I have customized a recording plan for you." Others jostled each other to compete for Lin Sin as a gift. Causing Eston to be pushed out fell down. The other person walked up to Lin Sin and said, "Sir, our first Silicon Science and Technology research group is in need of talents like you the most. I am willing to hire you with an annual salary of 2,000,000 TNO. Do you want to take a look?" At this time, Eston also crawled up and saw that Nottingham was also pressed by the group of people so that he was injured everywhere. Cried loudly. Then Eston angrily stood up and shouted loudly, "Hey, you all get out of the way. You guys finally know. This side Nottingham thought Eston was trying to protect him and said, Eston, thanks. But before he could say anything, Eston said, finally there was do you know what comes first and then last? I bow to you first. Master, if you want to join the research team, it's mine first. Your words at this moment made him speechless and petrified. At this time, all three of Lin Sin's relatives also came to chase away those cameramen. Professor Tang said loudly, we are from the Chinese Institute of Physics. This is our Chinese talent. You all go away, go. Nottingham's side is also tired. He lamented and said, my ribs are broken. Lin Sin's side is still in trouble amidst a bunch of people coming to record. The country is back like, is your salary the same as ours? Yes. Whoever pays the highest salary will work for them. Chia Yuxuan on this side was looking at Lin Sin with loving and gentle eyes. She thought to herself, Lin Sin, this is so awesome. The system panel now appeared. Favorability +2. At this time, the other young girls were all surrounding him. The blonde girl came closer to him, held up the pink card and said, this is my room number. Tonight at 8 o'clock. The reporter girl also blushed shyly and looked at Lin Sin and said, can I have a private interview? Let's discuss your research on vibrations. Seeing those girls keep surrounding him made Chia Yuxuan somewhat uncomfortable and frowned. Lin Sin now saw that the situation was not very good. Kept being bothered by those girls. He panicked, said, don't come and bother me. I don't want to go anywhere. Get the hell out of here. Said, he used his tiptoes to jump out, surprising everyone around. Everyone discussed chatting. What was that? How did he do it? And he walked away with a calm expression. At this moment the people surrounding him were suddenly startled, happily saying, that was Kung Fu, Chinese Kung Fu. It turns out it's all real. Everyone in China knows Kung Fu. Eston didn't give up at this time. He pushed those people away and pointed at himself and said, Master, me too want to learn this. Lin Sin felt a bit annoyed when he heard that and said, get lost. You want to learn everything. But suddenly an arm grabbed him. It turned out that Chia Yuxuan was trying to help him escape from that place. She said, Lin Sin, go this way. I understand Lu Jin quite well. Know how to escape them. And Professor Tang stood there to shield the two of them from this place. He quickly said, I will help you stop them. Classmate Lin Sin ran quickly. The others immediately chased after him. They didn't say anything. Mr. Lin, I bid 30 million euros. And Eston immediately chased after him and said, Master, right now in the drama room, there are 2 employees inside using flashlights but looking for someone, but couldn't find any clues. They went out then spoke into the receiver, reported, all rooms were meticulously checked. No target detected, likely running from the back door. Everyone chased after them. The employee on this side added, clearly saw them running in. How could he not see them anymore? Strange. Right now in the room were pictures of Lin Sin and Chia Yuxuan was pretending to be a standing statue and kissing like a couple. Then they stopped. Chia Yuxuan blushed a little shyly and said, it's safe. Lin Sin also happily said, impressive. Chia Yuxuan, the fake plastic model trick fooled the security guards. Then Lin Sin opened the door and went to another room. At this time the two of them were stuck together like a couple. Chia Yuxuan followed closely behind and smiled happily. And Lin Sin said, this place for the time being. There will be people who won't come back to check. So just avoid here for a bit. Hearing her laugh, he immediately turned to look at her and asked, what are you laughing at? At this moment, Chia Yuxuan pressed close to Lin Sin. Shyly said, in this situation, it felt like an evil dancer was seducing an honest scholar. He seemed to understand what she meant. Then immediately cooperated, suitable to chat with her. This scholar wanted to challenge his weakness. Hearing that, Chia Yuxuan immediately pushed Lin Sin down on the chair with his hot body and said, okay. Then he picked him up with his finger. His voice was a bit seductive at this time. Mr. Lin, I heard that you are a gentleman who reads books and sages. And will never change what you have decided. Yuxuan doesn't believe it, immediately wanted to convince him. Then Chia Yuxuan took the initiative to hold his hands behind him and took the initiative to kiss him. The steamy scene at this moment gradually appeared. Chia Yuxuan's face was red at this moment. She felt my body started to sweat. At this moment Lin Sin suddenly said, Chia Yuxuan, but before he could finish speaking, she covered his mouth with her hand. She continued, Today I'm not a good girl Chia Yuxuan. I'm a dancer Yuxuan, and you're a scholar. Mr. Lin finished speaking. Chia Yuxuan quickly leaned against him, then ran her wet tongue all over his chest. She said, "You have no way to resist. You can only let me trample on you." Chia Yuxuan's actions at this time make Lin Xin feel embarrassed. He blushed and thought, Chia Yuxuan is a bit different today. Suddenly Chia Yuxuan is now sitting on his lap trembled a bit, revealing half of her white breasts and long, slender legs. He looked at her and asked, "Chia Yuxuan, what's wrong with you?" Chia Yuxuan was a little nervous at this time and shed tears as if she wanted to be a baby to him. She said, I don't know what to do next." Hearing that, Lin Xin was a little surprised and happily said, "It's okay." Then, he immediately pushed Chia Yuxuan's body down on the chair while he put his hands down and looked at her and said, "I'm not pretending anymore. Actually I'm not a scholar, but a special agent." Chia Yuxuan looked extremely seductive right now with her flawless white skin. He continued, "Yuxuan, you can't escape." After speaking, he grabbed her legs tightly. Chia Yuxuan also cooperated and said, "I can't escape. I won't be able to escape soon." And so the steamy scene between him and her appeared. She kissed him and said, "Lin Xin, I love you." At this time, the system panel suddenly appeared. A series of plus points were displayed. Favorability +5. Chia Yuxuan's favorability 100%. Congratulations to the host, achieving 100% of the strategy. 3. Successful play. Chia Yuxuan's relationship with the host has changed. From now on, she will be devoted to the host and will never betray. The second phase costs 0 counterattack money. And the cashback is 0. All attributes add 1 level. Current attribute level 12. Host, please choose any skill you want. At this time dusk showed signs of appearing in the room at this time. Chia Yuxuan held the phone in an excited mood, and Lin Xin brought her a can of water. He said, "Chia Yuxuan, come drink some water. Buy it from the vending machine." At this moment, Chia Yuxuan was lying on the chair holding the can of water that Lin Xin bought. She happily said, "Thank you." Lin Xin immediately saw her happy sat down and asked, "What was so funny about talking?" Seeing this, Chia Yuxuan immediately held up the phone in front of him and said, "He's my good friend. Before coming here, I made a bet with her to see who confessed to the guy I like first. I win." Lin Xin looked at the message. He was a little worried and thought to himself, "Yan Bao, it seems like they all know me." Then suddenly she kissed his cheek. Happily said, "Waiting to return home. You and I should meet her. She's so angry." Lin Xin thought a little worriedly. Is the Shura field finally coming? Chia Yuxuan is 100% but Yan Bao is still not there. What will happen when these two good friends meet? Is the system 100% reliable? Then suddenly there was a message from Cha sent to you. "Brother Lin Xin, have you seen the news?" After Kim Ju-hyun returned home, Korean netizens scolded her for being a traitor. After reading it, he frowned a bit.